Passion into a fulfilling career, the Y is an equal opportunity employer and is now hiring youth program leaders, lifeguards, swim instructors, and more. Plus, Y staff enjoy benefits including free YMCA membership and free childcare while you work. Find your passion, find your why in a career at fcymca.org.
If you want to get into broadcasting, 1010XL is partnering with the Broadcasters and Sportscasters Mentoring Group to offer on-air broadcast training to a select few. Find out how you can be mentored at getintobroadcasting.com. GetIntoBroadcasting.com.
Duck Duck Air Conditioning, a division of Duck Duck Rooter, is looking for experienced and dependable HVAC services technicians to join our growing team. Duck Duck Air Conditioning is committed to delivering the highest level of service to our customers. Successful candidates will be hardworking, dependable, possess strong problem-solving skills with at least 2 years of HVAC experience. Ready to get to work? Please visit our website at duckduckac.com and click on the careers page. We look forward to hearing from you. That's duckduckac.com.
DuckDuck AC is an equal opportunity employer.
I'm Taylor Dahl with your 1010XL local sports update brought to you by Batteries Plus. As the Jaguars announced yesterday, the plan to debut the first public look at the conceptual design for the Stadium of the Future. We got our first look this morning, and the design includes a 360-degree concourse, 4 times wider than the current one. It will include interactive social bars and a variety of unique experiences. The seating capacity will hold a base of 62,000 fans with expansion capabilities of 71,500 for college football games and concerts. The open-air venue features a canopy that reduces the heat retention by more than 70%, lowering temperatures 10 to 15 degrees and protecting from weather. The stadium will also include lookout decks with city-wide views. Visit First Down downtown Jacksonville or Jaguars.com for more. It's 85 degrees at 12:03. Time and Temper brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Mia O'Brien.
Bent over and let it happen.
Matt Hayes.
Terrible.
And Leon Searcy.
I did some curls for the girls.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Welcome in. How do you like it now that there are plans unveiled? There are renderings for your approval, and you can look at it, fall in love with it, and then wonder when you're going to get it. Welcome in to XL Primetime, Golf Club of Southampton, Wednesday right here on the program. We got our 9 after 5 coming up a little bit later on today. But as I said earlier, Duval, don't do it small. And this is what looks like a pretty good rendering. If you're asking for renderings that look cool, this is one of them, that's for sure. So we want some reaction from Jaguar faithful out there, from you Nooners. All of Duval, let us know what you think about the renderings, the plans for the stadium. We're going to give you all the details, and we'll offer up our pop-off line if you just want to chime in on it, 207-70-71. You can also hit us on the YouTube. What's up? YouTube, JJ, invite them to interact on YouTube. It's easy.
This is the Yahoo pop-off chat line. Yahoo!
So that's an easy place to go. You can check us out on our social media channel, 1010XL on YouTube, and then throw some opinions up there, or hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. So let's at least kind of get into it a little bit. There's a lot of things that you could be thinking about, finances being one of them, the look, the timeline, all that stuff. And Big Sur, it's not like we haven't been down the rendering road before, because we have, but this is the first time that you have seen what they
did. I liked it.
Yeah.
The future's here. The future's here, Duval.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. It looks like, I won't quote one of the guys that was on it looked like the mothership that landed in Duval County.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, futuristic, and some of the plans that I said, it seems like, I don't know, what I saw inside of it, it seemed like it was floor seats for the fans. Did you see that? It was little cubby holes where the fans they would have access to the TV.
Like SoFi, yeah.
Like SoFi, like floor seats to I love that part, the interaction with the fans and the players, because the Cowboys have it where they run through the tunnel, the fans are there, they interact with one another. I absolutely love that.
And they already have a version of that now, but
not
it's
to this extent.
Yeah, it's not nothing like what you're
nothing like
talking
that. Yeah, the floor seats, everything looked bigger. Everything. It seemed like a whole new experience. I mean, everything was interactive. The bars, the restaurants, the sit-down areas. It looked real cool, man. I mean, it looks like it's going to cost a pretty nickel or a couple of more. A few, but from the plans that I saw, man, it seems. And listen, it's not my money. I mean, it seems every penny worth.
Yeah.
For what you see right now.
Well, it might be your money.
Yeah,
it might be my money.
But
You're
it's still-
absolutely right. It might be some of my money.
It does represent the future.
Yeah.
And when all these things came out, we were just sitting there we knew that the penny was going to be a pretty penny, but we still don't know for sure 100% exactly what it's going to be, and we won't know until it's all it's all done.
But I do like that final line, and I tweeted it out. I said, I hope Dewey's getting some sort of royalties for it was always the Jags, it was always Jacksonville, and we will always be Duval, which is basically a fancy way of the Jags saying, okay, city council, here you go. This is us putting our best foot forward to say we want to be here. Look at our dedication to we want to have, quote-unquote, native concessions and social bars, that we want to have local businesses have a say in, what we're actually going to be involved with on these 4 times wider concourses. That, this commitment, which we'll get into, to potentially, because they literally said potentially, the UF grad school satellite campus. And so this is their way of saying, this is us taking everything that's Jacksonville and we want to put it forth for you. Now it's your turn to come up with the way we make this work.
So I don't. There's 16 city council members, right? Is that right? 16.
I thought it was 17. Yeah, somewhere around.
Well, let's just say it's 7. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. I can guarantee you, probably 6 and 7 of them, right out of the gate, no matter what, are absolute no's and will never change. So
there's usually that.
Yeah. So you're gonna. So you're the reality. It's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy to get this done. That's number one.
Yeah.
And number 2, JJ and I were joking earlier, is, this is when you ask what you want. It's not really what you want. You want something else, but you got to shoot for the moon.
Right.
Because then the deal will come back with, well, this is what we can afford. And then
so you're like,
kind of meet in the
hey,
middle.
I want the greatest stadium of all time. And then you don't get it, but they're like, oh, we'll give you a roof.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what you really wanted to begin with. But you're like, all right, we'll settle for a roof.
I want a Mercedes.
It's called the art of the deal.
We're going to give you a Toyota.
What's the whole purpose of the tease if they're not going to give you what you want?
Well, in this particular case,
never get the full tease.
Yeah,
I want the full tease. Now that you shown me the plans, you can't go back from that.
I ain't having them, bro.
I seen the mothership. It's landed in Duval.
I'm with Leon. Full tease. You got to deliver.
Exactly. You got to deliver the goods now.
And so I think it
got
will
me all worked up.
You
got me all worked up.
You wouldn't be happy with the roof, though.
Minimum 6 or 7.
Now.
6 or 7 of those council members are going to say no, never.
Bro, now that I've seen the plans, I can't be happy with the roof.
It just has to meet approval.
4 or 5 of them are going to say, I don't even want a new stadium.
And listen, that looked like, was it me? Did that look like a retractable roof?
Well, it looks like it has effects above it with the way that kind of like it looks like, I'm trying to think of the
they
best way. They
called it a shade canopy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, shade canopy.
And it looks like with the way everything is, it looks like structurally, you can move that shade in and out. In other words, you can cover it as much as you want. At least that's what it looks like to me. But from an interactive point of view, going back to what we said just as far as bars go, I got a big kick out of it when they said the concourses are going to be 4 times as wide.
Times.
That tells you how it was 4 times as small. Okay? It was 4 times too small. And let's just remind everybody, this bad boy took place 30 years ago. 1993 is when the architects came in and said, probably before that actually, because they said, if we get the team, this is what we will be willing to do and prepared to do. And so structurally, they did what they needed to do to make it NFL ready. So here we are, 30 years later, and the last of the renos since the Jaguars have come into the NFL.
And I would like to note, and I'll make sure we get this on our social channels, our good friend JP Shadrick down at the Jaguars just tweeted it out because it needs to be highlighted that the Jaguars and the First Downtown Jacksonville group are holding a series of community huddles throughout Duval County the next few weeks. Mark Lamping, Jaguars president, will be in attendance at all of them. He is scheduled to be there at all of them. I mean, we're talking every nook, cranny, corner of the city is going to be covered. I mean, there's one that's going to be at String Sports Brewery down in Springfield. I believe that's the Ramada that's on the west side of town. Deerwood Country Club, Argyle Branch Library, the Community First Igloo, which just opened yesterday, Casa Marina at the beach, the zoo and the gardens. Like, there's a lot of different places that you can get to if you want to have a say and you want to learn more about what this project is. And so, again, I think that this is the Jaguars. They did their research. Anyone who critiqued the Lot J project, I think, at least at this juncture, they have their ducks in a row, much more than they did on that project.
Well, do you
they
remember,
have to. It's a lot more money.
Yeah, and what Matt said earlier, or what JJ, one of them, the combination with the conversation we were having just a few minutes ago is that, you ask for something knowing you might not get it. That was my theory in the beginning with Lot J. Let them strike that down, and then we're going to go get that stadium. And the stadium is the most important thing. In my estimation, you could not have done Lot J without having a brand new stadium. And so this is where we are. So pop off line, 207-7071. If you've seen it, hit us up, give us an opinion, what you like, what you don't like, what gets you really stoked over the idea that this is going to happen when you see it, because there's a lot of different things that you can look at. And when we look at all these other stadiums, it is really important, back to Leon's point, that I do think they're going to get the soup to nuts, everything that's being promised to them. They're going to get that full dinner and that kiss afterwards. And because take a look at what happened at Soldier Field. Soldier Field went through I'd have to go back and look, but I think it was a $350 million reno, something in that neighborhood. They're already looking at plans to move, do another one, all that type of stuff. So you got to be careful when you do it, that you make sure everything is considered, so you're not looking a short time down the road at having to upgrade it.
Well, I understand. I mean, when you put out these kind of projections, man, you got to shoot for the moon. And I know you say you shoot for the moon. It's like the art of negotiating. You shoot high, they shoot low. You shoot somewhere in the middle. But after I've seen what I've seen, and all the accommodations for the fans, you even said they said there's going to be 7%. It gets hot in September. And all those poor fans that had to sit up in the 400 sections and burn up and watch the Jaguars through their miserable years are now going to be well air conditioned.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, I've been in
that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Average Joe, man of the people. I'm out there, amongst them. And you see me in the Bud Zone. You see me in the Norsey North, Cabanas, East Club. Shout out to C Daddy and all of them. Because and I'm telling you, on the east side of the stadium, they cook.
Yes,
they
bake, bro. I feel sorry for them. I really do. Absolutely. Even back in the day when I was playing.
Right.
They baked that sun, playing in those hot 1 o'clock in the afternoon games where the sun is hovering right over you. I mean, that's got to be brutal. And you got kids up there, passing out and stuff. Got to carry your kids and fan them.
Honor row. Hey, the honor row kids sitting up there.
Keep ice packs on your children just for the games. That's ridiculous, bro.
And Mark Lamping was very steadfast in this one most important point from the beginning of bringing up this conversation, that this has to happen. And he would provide all the intel, all the numbers with the state of the Jaguars, the annual address that he would give. But the one thing that he would constantly repeat is what Leon said right there, is that to the detriment of the fans is what we're suffering through right now, where fans cannot have an enjoyable experience. And he even admitted or conceded on the field the product wasn't enjoyable. And then the other thing is that the experience of going to the game, they tried to make it as enjoyable as possible. But in the end, things get outdated, and you need to improve the experience.
Listen, I've always been a man of the people. Now, first and foremost, corporate is even at the stadium now, corporate is taken care of. They're in boxes. They're in suites, staying on luxury and all that. I'm talking about the diehard fans who have sat through miserable Jaguar for the last decade or so. Those are the ones that I'm excited about, the ones that have been in the 400 section, the high one. The penthouse, the so-called penthouse sections of the stadium, and having to endure that heat. Now you've got the projections of 70% cooler. Everybody has a good seat. Everybody has a good view. You ain't got to worry about sweating off your Easter suit while you're out there. You just go out there and comfortably enjoy the game. That's who I'm more concerned about.
All right, Matt,
the avid fan.
You're the numbers. Florida, Georgia, and by the way, they were featured as well as the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl.
How about the Final Four being featured? I thought that one was fascinating.
Because you got to dream. You do. You have to dream, and that's the potential.
How could it not be?
Yeah, that is the potential of what you're bringing to the city. You're putting more eyes on the city. You're bringing more people. I had a discussion yesterday, with one of the high rankers in the business community. And they feel like this doesn't drive any more economic dollars, that people spend X number of dollars on whatever they choose, but it's still X number of dollars. I disagree with that because there are more and more people. There's enough research and evidence to show how many more people come into this city.
Right, it brings tourists
and
in.
drop dollars and then head back out. And Florida Georgia is a classic example of that, with the countless people that come into this community and will drop dollars, and that will help fund and pay for and maintain this brand new.
The national championship game is a 3 or 4 day event.
Yeah.
That's 4 days of people coming here.
Oh yeah.
You can do concerts. You can do all kind of different things. Daly's Place, wherever, anywhere. There's so many different things you can do.
Yeah, the stadium tours that much more enhanced.
Yes.
As a possibility of bringing the big
and the
ones
Final
in.
Four is a full week event.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that stadium could host the Final Four, guess what?
Yeah.
Houston hosts the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. All the stadiums
right?
that you are used to seeing now.
Yeah.
And by the way, it'd have to have some dome-ish
right, because
ability.
you're not going to get the rain like SoFi coming inside. Yeah.
So wait a minute, you're saying that the new stadium so the Gator Bowl could be influxed into the national championship?
No.
Oh,
the national championship game is a standalone game.
Yeah. Okay.
So they could have now. To be fair, the Gator Bowl could if they bid enough.
Yeah.
Like they're working on the contract right now. If the Gator Bowl just gave them just a ridiculous bid, and that would take the city council also giving a lot of money there, they could get in that. Of course.
And we've learned this much: it's ever changing in the college game. And we
nothing.
have
There's no more tradition now in the college game.
I see. Absolutely.
It's all about money.
And we got the New Year's Day 6, and so that can change constantly. The Rose Bowl isn't as
well.
powerful.
The New Year's 6 it's done.
Yeah.
Once the 12th team comes, it's been basically folded in to the 12th team playoffs. So there's no more New Year's 6 games. It's all part of the playoff.
And I guess I describe
the bowls
them
will be used probably in the first 2 years anyway, when it's already been set, so they can't get out of the first 2 years. But when it starts in 2026, the idea is the bowls will be used from the semifinals on and maybe the quarterfinals on.
Right. And I use that New Year's 6 just as the big boys, the big bowls. And they carry a lot of weight in the college football world. And so you just got to figure out which one of them, what type of rota they're going to come up with as far as who's going to get what when. And Jacksonville could be put into a rota, as I like to call it. They could become a player.
Well, to get into that playoff, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
To get that standalone championship game is going to cost a lot.
And by the
of
way,
money.
you're going to have to be fighting off Atlanta and Dallas.
LA.
And
Glendale.
and Miami and Tampa.
Indianapolis, yes.
The Orange Bowl, or excuse me, the Sugar
Miami,
Bowl.
yeah.
I mean, you got to fight off some bigs.
Which, by the way, can we just reflect on the fact that, let's go back in the time machine. If you had told us in 1994 that Indianapolis would be not just in the rotation for those events, but was the go-to, hey, if we're not going to be in a warm weather climate, we're going to Indianapolis. If you had told someone that back in 1994, would they have believed you?
You know what? It's not necessarily the facility.
It's
Lucas
everything
Oil's
else.
a nice place.
It's
Yeah.
everything
It's
else
everything
around
else.
it.
But they pack it
Bingo.
in there, too.
Bingo. And that's
Yeah.
where I think what you're going to hear, and I see those of you on the text line and on Twitter that are already saying, well, the stadium renderings are great, but what they're not telling you is what all those other buildings are, and they're going to make you pay for that. Yes, but that's the reason Indianapolis is what it is, because of the everything else.
Yeah.
And that's where, that's going to be the
It's-
next step.
It has to be.
Well,
there has to be more of a draw than the game day itself. You got to have people that want to come to your city for 3, 4, 5 days.
Right.
If it's a Final Four, for 3 or 4 days, if it's the national championship game, for a week, if it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason for them to come there.
Yeah, and
it can't just be this beautiful, sparkling city in the middle of nothing.
Well, and I've said it countless times.
Stadium, I mean, not city.
Yeah, I've said it countless times. For anything like that to work, businesses that are open down there have to be fruitful in the financial game year-round.
Right.
They can't be there for the 5 days that these outside people show up. They will never make it.
They can't survive, right?
They can't, yeah. And so the only way that a downtown is going to grow up to be this big boy city that we talk about and try to visualize is with people, and John Delaney said it best way back when, one of the former mayors, is it needs to have a walking part of the city downtown,
right,
where people live there. They actually live there and they get out. And, I saw one of our guys, Strings, is hosting one of these Q&A sessions, right?
Yes.
And, I saw Scott at Walk Off Charities, one of Francie's guys, and he's excited about the next one that he's opening up on Beach Boulevard. And the idea of trying to revive Springfield or getting San Marco and Riverside and King Street and all those places tied together, creating this district on the South Bank and then reviving the North, that has people moving in downtown and living
And
downtown.
yes, 706001, I see you. The area of downtown there is awful. How are they going to get it cleaned up? Guess what? If you don't try, it'll never happen. It'll just keep sitting the way it is. Are you okay with that?
Right. There are other cities that were beautiful and now are awful.
Or
and so we're trying to go in the reverse
Indianapolis.
direction.
Look at Indianapolis. What was downtown Indianapolis before the house that Peyton built and everything else that has now come with it?
It's a cool experience. I use Nashville as an example a lot because everything does tie together down there too. Are there homeless down there? Are there some bad situations? Yeah. But at the same time, it's being developed, improved, money being infused into it. And that's because, look, if we're being truthful, our downtown does not compare to our beach life. And that's where everybody goes.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. On the weekends, I'm not thinking, and most of the times in any major city, you know, the downtown is the heartbeat of the city. When you come in town, you ask, hey, how's downtown look?
Right.
But when you come to Jacksonville, you know, the alternative, downtown's the alternative. The place to be is on the beach.
Yeah.
Absolutely want to be on the beach. Even on the weekends, where I'm thinking, man, I should go downtown. No.
Like
I'm headed toward the beach.
Yeah, here's an example. We're down doing the Super Bowl a few years back. We're downtown at your cigar bar.
Yeah, when we was in Miami.
Yeah. The late
we were in Brickell.
The late great Kevin Green
came through. Yes,
was at the Hall of Fame breakfast, lunch, whatever it was, and he
on South Beach. Yep.
He took a limo all the way to come see us, and it took him probably an hour. Why? Because there's a lot going on downtown, but there's even more going on at the beach.
Oh yeah.
Now Miami's proof positive that you can have Bayside. You can have Biscayne. You can have downtown, the Grove. You can have, of course, South Beach. So there are many, many areas.
Many resting stops.
Yeah. And there's parts of downtown down there that are distinctly different, which this is, the same can be true here. But yeah, North Side, South Bank, do continue to develop the St. Johns River and make it a mecca for people to come in.
Well, I like to put in the bid for a Leon Cersei All-Pro cigar. Put the hotel right now.
Put it in one of them.
Put in the bid right now.
I did notice that in the renderings you weren't anywhere.
I know where, bro.
And I was pretty upset.
I'm putting my bid in now. All-Pro cigar.
It's weird how they ask you. Right, they ask him to yell for the playoffs. do the hype video. Yeah. They don't put you in the the video of the good stuff.
Like maybe your number above a bar.
It's all good.
Yeah. Stop by the 72 Cigar Lounge.
Like Leon.
Like everywhere you looked, there was 16.
But here's the thing: I know that when it is built, I know that I laid a brick.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Real quick, before we take our first break.
There should be like a brick.
I can't wait to see the picture of Leon cutting the wire.
There should be like a bricklayer portion of that, or like a wall somewhere. The guys who laid the bricks.
Hey, listen, I'm the foundation.
Or you put in, the first shovel.
Yeah.
You got
instead of the pride, it would be
the
bricklayer.
Yeah, they're going to ask me. Yes.
You and Arden Key both, Leon. You and Arden Key.
Oh, yeah, he built the bucket.
He really built this thing, and he built the bucket.
He did. I don't know if you know that he did the renderings.
Oh yeah.
He did.
He designed them by hand. Oh,
yeah.
Totally by hand.
He did.
I do want to get to this. I've seen a couple of you who say this is a fantasy. Remember the original rendition of Daly's Place and where it ended up? Sure. If you want to go back to that, absolutely. You see a difference. How about you pull up the rendering of the practice facility and what we're seeing so far? That's about a month and a half from opening.
Yeah.
Because that looks pretty spot on to me.
Yeah, I can hear a bunch of no's. I'm just looking forward to yeses. And you got to believe. You got to take a step forward. You got to be willing and look for this team to survive in this city. These things have to happen. We've talked about it a countless number of times. All right, hit the text line 641-1010. Hit the YouTube channel. Hit the pop-off line, which is 207-7071. If you love it, yell it. If you don't, tell us. We'll try and get as many opinions out there as possible. We will dig in on a couple of other things, including our own man, Leon Cersei. I'm just going to start to bridge this conversation. It's going to take place over time, but we will set it up coming up. The Golf Club of Southampton, they bring you today's show. We would love to see you out there the 9 after 5 tonight, 287-play. And you can come on out and enjoy 9-hole game. You can enjoy little grub afterwards, some prizes. Just call 287-play, get on the tee sheet. Now, today is 95 days till the Jags kick it off. 95. So we'll start or keep our jersey countdown going with one Paul Spicer who wore number 95 in the 1 o'clock hour. But start throwing at us some great 95s. College, NFL, any other sport you can think of, NASCAR, IndyCar, it doesn't matter. Who wore 95 and who wore it well? It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. A slice of home, no matter how far from Jacksonville life takes you.
It's a miracle!
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices to listen anywhere in the world.
Want a low down payment and a low monthly payment on your next ride? Then you've got to go to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and right now you can buy a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla for just $1,000 down and $288 a month. That's just $1,000 down and $288 a month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $1,000 down and $388 a month. That's just $1,000 down and $388 per month. But it doesn't stop there. Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned has over 400 used in stock, plus more than 100 vehicles under $18K. And with every pre-owned purchase at Arlington, you get peace of mind from their 30-day exchange program. That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for one that you do. So if you've been looking for a low down payment and a low monthly payment, you will find it at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Don't wait. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Working in the trades industry, going nowhere, sick of dealing with grueling residential install projects and demanding seasonal schedules? Become part of something better. All Weather Contractors wants you to join our multifamily and commercial construction property maintenance team now. Based in Jacksonville, we offer premium pay, bonuses, full benefits, 401k programs, employee stock ownership opportunities, and a culture focused on career advancements and opportunities. Build a better career in the commercial property maintenance industry. Apply online today at allweathercontractors.com.
If your hair is thinning and you're looking for an easy solution that will restore your hair, check out IHRS PRP Platelet-Rich Plasma. PRP, using your own platelets and cells to restore your hair where it's thinning. Combined with their FDA-approved laser hair therapy and pharmaceutical-grade products, all three will deliver one better result. Call IHRS now for a free evaluation and to find out if their PRP 45-minute treatment will work for you. Now there is a solution for any man or woman with any degree of hair loss. And it's all in one place. Call 904-777-IHRS. IHRS has been restoring hair for over 30 years. The staff at IHRS knows what it's like to lose their hair. And that's why they're ready to help you grow your hair back.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
The Community First Igloo, the newly renovated Family Ice facility, is celebrating its official grand opening from June 6th through the 11th. The fun starts Tuesday with a ribbon cutting at 11:30 a.m. While there, check out the Key Renter Esports Gaming Lounge for free gaming from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. all week long. There's also free public skating from 10 a.m. to noon on Wednesday and Thursday, a beer tasting event, and a mixology class set for Friday and Saturday. For more information, visit communityfirstigloo.com.
If you're often tired, have trouble exercising, or your heartbeat feels irregular, you might have atrial fibrillation, or AFib. Left untreated, AFib can put a strain on your heart and increase your risk of a stroke. But the new Heart Rhythm Center at Baptist Health can help. With the latest treatment options for heart disorders like AFib, our team of specialists can get you feeling stronger again. Learn more at baptistjacks.com/AFib or call 904-202-2342.
If your golf clubs stay in your garage instead of your hands because of pain, join me, Matt Hayes, for Pain-Free Living with Dr. Mitchell Yaz. Sunday mornings at 10 on 1010XL.
The players are on the field, and 1010XL is there. Driven by Tire Outlet. Listen for 1010XL's coverage of organized team activities and minicamp. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services and Safe Harbor Seafood Restaurant and Market.
drivers and heavy truck mechanics. If you like sports, then you're going to love working at Waste Management.
We have a team atmosphere here where we're looking out for one another. We jump in to help out.
Listen up. WM is now offering a $5,000 new hire bonus to CDL drivers and heavy truck mechanics for jobs at our sites in Jacksonville, Green Cove Springs, Callahan, and St. Augustine.
It's camaraderie. It's everything. I like it.
Steady work, competitive pay, weekly paychecks, opportunities for overtime, paid training, and a generous boot and tool allowance.
Plus, over-the-top benefits like 100% tuition coverage for you and your family, and home every day.
CDL drivers and heavy truck mechanics. Apply online at WM.com/careers. That's WM.com/careers. Search driver and mechanic jobs in Jacksonville, Green Cove Springs, Callahan, and St. Augustine, Florida.
A people-first, military-friendly, equal opportunity employer. We are WM.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. They were fantastic in setting up my car loan. I've never had a bad experience, and I've banked with them for years. I trust First Florida Credit Union. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the New Durban location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
A special music theme on this Wednesday edition of XL Primetime. Why is that, Leon Cersei?
Well, I mean, here's a little tidbit that people out there may not know, but I'm a huge Prince fan, all right? Today happens to be Prince Rogers Nelson's birthday, June 7th, 1958.
A creator.
Creator.
Masterful.
Absolutely. Now, this was my first ever non-rap album that I purchased.
Really?
It was a
How
double.
old were you?
I was 1982. I was what? I was born in 1969. What was I, 13 years old?
Yeah.
13 years old,
First
right?
first album?
Non-rap.
Okay.
Non-rap album I purchased.
Are we talking vinyl or
Vinyl.
putting it on
Vinyl.
the-
It was a double album.
So-
it was a. I bought it like the end, like towards Christmas that time, because I believe it came out a couple of months before that, so I bought it. And I bought it because I had a couple of uncles that were like 6 years older than me, and they were all into the P-Funk, all that, Ohio players and all that kind of stuff. So the Prince album that I bought, in my determination, I thought was funky. So I played it for my uncles and stuff like this because their perception of Prince was different before this album came out.
You taught them a little something.
Prince used to wear the tighty whities back in the day and dance around on stage, and so it was a little concerning about it. So when this album came out and I heard the music, I was like, oh, this is it. This is funk. And then I presented it to my uncles. They were like, at first they were like, I don't hear no Prince. They had, but then when they heard the album, they said, okay, got you something.
Yeah,
it was funky.
Did you say tidy whities?
Listen, in his early days, Prince.
He was very suspect.
He was an interesting cat.
He was interesting. All right.
I was
He
gonna
was
say,
off the cusp. Okay.
Party Like It's 1999 didn't come out until what? Late 80s, early 90s?
What, 1982 actually?
Yeah.
Came out in 82. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
then the end of the world was only
Wait, so
17
what
years
age
away.
were you when you stopped wearing tidy whities?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I never wore them.
Never.
No, now when I was little, I
That's
wearing
what I'm saying.
underoos back in the day when I was.
But so you didn't wear them when you were
before
like
I was
10?
double digit. No.
9 or 10?
No. I wore drawers.
Yeah, you start wearing boxers.
Yeah, you used to wear
around
boxers,
then.
man. You
8, 9.
Well, you about 6 or 7. You wear the little
Thinking
Scooby-Doo.
maybe teenage year.
Yeah, whatever your mom.
Yeah, I think me too.
Maybe 13.
Yeah, like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Man, I was wearing drawers at 10, man. Drawers.
You know what I was going to
That's
do?
impressive.
Yeah.
I was going to go down Matt's road, and we were too poor. We couldn't afford boxers. But
Matt doesn't even wear underwear.
Right, we just went commando, man.
Couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
They washed their diapers.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You went early too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. La Selva's, we're a strictly boxer family. Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. All right.
I mean, I did have, like Leon said, when you're a little kid, you know, your mom gets you in the whitey tighties.
But when you were 10, you were in boxers.
I need the air, bro.
I'm out there, Jerry,
Yeah, exactly.
and I'm loving it.
Here's one thing I don't understand about tidy whities, all right? Because where you use the bathroom is probably the most disgusting place on your body.
It's
all right?
kind of. Yeah.
And to put a white sheet over it,
It's just dumb.
it doesn't make
Just
any sense
dumb.
whatsoever.
You
I
need
mean,
laundering.
please help me on that.
Why were they not black?
I don't know.
Yeah. They were
Tiny
always-
blacks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because white, I guess, is considered like
Clean?
hospital clean. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing is,
The thing is, it's hard to
You
keep
stay in
that
them
good.
long
no.
enough, they won't be.
no. Here's the. Oh, this is like mom.
This was locker
Vidari
room
explaining
talk.
this to me. You could bleach them because they did get dirty,
That's
which would
it.
keep
Yeah,
them
yeah,
white.
yeah,
There you go. There you go.
I'm just sitting
whereas
this one
a different
out.
color, it's going in a discolored
Hey,
direction.
you may need this talk in a few years, okay?
Yeah. You never know. You never know.
Bo Valentine and you, who knows what's in the future?
Yeah, well, maybe. That's
You have
definitely
something
a
to
discussion.
announce?
No. That's
She tried to
definitely.
announce it yesterday.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a discussion with future children that I suppose I will be having. I don't remember
Oh, wait a second. Have we gone a different level
what. Oh,
with Bo Valentine?
Got to go marriage
Are we
first.
serious?
yeah, we're one day at a time here. But yes, no, I mean.
'Cause that sounded like you take it a different level there.
Well,
Did
more-
it not? Am I wrong there, guys?
It sounded.
No, they've talked. That's what
All
she
right.
said. They've talked, and I appreciate that.
different
We
level.
need more babies.
Are
I
you
thought
sure
you were gonna
about
say, I
that?
thought you were going to
Yeah.
say we need more men talking to their
Well, that's it.
partner.
No, I enjoy a nice, beautiful family.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is a whole.
They're trying to
different
kill the
JJ.
family, Joe.
Yeah, I love him. This is a whole different JJ. This is the softer side of him. You know,
He's literally gone from she ate my girl to I love families.
And he's
in about
still-
2.5 years.
he still can turn into bitterment.
Does
from
Blake
time
know
to
that,
time.
by the way?
Oh,
Does she know the
absolutely.
she ate my girl line?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you may have said something to her at the Christmas party that she enjoyed that.
May or may not.
But yeah, I actually, her family, I guess, which is my family now, welcomed in a new niece yesterday.
Oh, my
Nice.
gosh,
Congratulations.
fantastic.
Presley Ann.
Love
She was
that.
8.8 ounces, which I guessed in the pool correctly, the $20 pool. But the tiebreaker I got wrong with length. I know nothing about babies.
21?
I said 16 inches.
21.
She was 21 inches,
Okay.
Joe.
Nice.
Good. That was young Hyla. I'm just remembering the last one. We were talking about some of these measurements with the son-in-law and daughter a couple nights ago, and so that's when I remembered that Hyla was 21.
Your weight when you was born, you know?
I can't remember.
Oh, Joe was probably a
9.2.
little lad.
You were 9.2. I bet I was a seven something.
I was a big
You remember your weight, man?
When I was what?
Yeah, when you were born.
When you were born, your weight.
I have no idea.
Like,
Now
when
that-
you were
Me neither.
6.
I really don't. Yeah, I
They
don't
didn't have a
remember.
scale for Matt to be weighed.
Well,
you know.
exactly.
They were too poor.
Right,
He wasn't-
we went
he
to the
couldn't
poor
afford
house
a
for the winter
hospital.
scale, Right.
But
No, I was actually looking at the text line and hear what you guys said.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna say if you're looking at the text line, Matt. Yes, we have now descended into madness where people are sending us photos of their underbriefs. So yes,
Nice.
And I feel like
Keep it clean, folks.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why they're white. Okay? That is why they're white. Here's the other thing. 7 years since Prince left us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
7.
Yeah.
So we will play it today
Yeah.
in honor of Prince. I'm glad that-
Absolutely.
We
Oh,
also
there's
are,
some deep
Every
cuts, too.
every commercial break will be coming back with Prince.
if you are playing today's show on the YouTube live stream, number one, our good friends on YouTube, where you can comment, you can get involved in the conversation. JJ, what do we like to call it?
This is the Yahoo pop-off chat line. Yahoo!
We're one segment in, and these boys are they're firing on all cylinders. More comments, I think, than we've ever gotten in an opening segment. So we will address that. But if you are watching on YouTube, you may have seen a certain special little dessert that we all may or may not be partaking in. Our thanks to the good folks at Sonati's, who, needs to be noted,
Paisan.
are the sponsors of our all-new high school series that our boy, producer Casey Dobson, is taking the reins of, and so it's called Show Me Something Nugin.
Right.
And so he's going around Jacksonville area.
Instead of Guggen, you kind of get it?
Yep, exactly. He's going around the Jacksonville area. Sports that maybe don't get as much love. The lacrosses, the rowing, the tennises of the world.
Olympic sports.
Olympic sports, absolutely.
And I used to call them spring sports, and I even called them, like
I call them gator sports.
Yeah, this is where we play for championships, man. Okay, but I do like it because there are a lot of those sports that get underplayed, get not totally dismissed, but there's a lot of good sports and competition that's going on out there.
Leon, you ever been rowing?
I have not. No,
Okay.
I have not.
So maybe we get Leon. Maybe we get Leon out there with Casey for that episode.
Yeah,
when
do
he
you
goes
need to-
rowing.
Leon's much more of a crew man.
Yeah, do you know who was? I believe he might even been a scholarship crew guy in college.
Who?
Dempsey.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, he was a
So
crew.
what is the difference between rowing and crew?
Well, rowing and crew are the same.
Oh, are they?
Sailing is, I think, where you're getting thrown for a loop.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
there's also sailing. I know Bishop Kenny in particular has a sailing team. I
What?
believe Episcopal does
They look
too.
out their back window and they're
JU
like-
has a really good sailing team. I did a story on them
That's
when I was
so
working in TV.
badass.
Yeah, it's super cool. But yeah, so if you are interested in getting involved in that program, be sure to hit up Casey on Twitter. You also can email him at kcd@1010xl.com. We already have episode 1 with Ponte Vedra Lacrosse
Cool.
posted on all of our channels, so make sure you go on, check it out. On Twitter, it is actually our posted pin tweet,
Yeah.
so make sure you see it right at the top.
Yeah, and lacrosse is one of those ones that just really came on strong from the Northeast to, I would describe it from the Northeast of the U.S. to the Northeast of Florida when the McCords came in and really got it going. We're going back early O's when they really started getting it going in the high schools. So how about this? I don't know whether this is true or not. I always think the text line brings more truth than anything else. Boxer briefs debuted in 1990. Texter says, I had the idea for them. Sure you did. In 1980, I hated briefs, but boxers were too bagging in the leg. So I thought of them then, but I was 16, so no way to produce them.
Yeah, I was never a boxer briefs guy, just strictly boxers.
Well,
boxer briefs are.
I'm all about them right now.
Forever, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
No, I need some air.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, bro. You got to try these.
Yeah.
You got to try these.
Yeah, you got to
go to Duluth Trading Company.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually
Up
have
north,
a pair
you
of
know,
Duluth.
north
I got
of
for
the city.
Christmas. I do
Yeah.
enjoy that, but I wear it very rarely.
Yeah. Again, a little TMI right there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to talk granny panties, I guess we can talk that.
Oh boy.
But I guess we'll also.
We do have some lady listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do absolutely. I have nothing wrong against granny panties. They're nice and flowing, and
All
when you're
right,
playing
now-
sports, I'd rather play in those.
Speaking of art, our man DJ, who does it all the time, he has now added Big Surse into the rendering. Take a look at that. That is just beautiful. Oh my God. That is beautiful. Watch
The
this.
cigars.
Comes out. He's got the cigars.
Oh, love it.
That is just awesome.
Absolutely love it.
We need
Thank
to
you very
use
much,
this.
DJ Dell. You're the man.
See, now you put it in the universe, it's
This
going
is
to happen
much
now.
better than
Oh,
what you
yeah.
did with the live yesterday. I'll just tell you that.
Now turn that down, City Council, you
Exactly.
cowards.
Exactly.
That may have to be the tweet. Turn
Yeah.
this down, City of Jacks.
Yeah. All right, so we'll get to some of the thoughts as far as what you got with the stadium, and it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of money, and you heard the seating capacity, and then you also heard what they can expand it to. Matt, back to our Florida-Georgia conversation, and I believe this is happening. I believe both sides wanted this to happen in some way, shape, or form, is that we were always looking at it had to be 80,000 plus, and then this stadium went from, 63 to 73, and basically recreated a demand in a lot of ways. And they had 3 different versions of how they could configure this stadium, adding those 10,000 extra seats, and then covering the platform part of the clubs, adding seats in the south part.
They get it to 82, 82
yeah.
one.
Oh, they got up there, man. They definitely did. But then, I believe they wanted to create a little more demand, and they started inching that bad boy down, 79, 78. I'd have to go back and look at the actual numbers. But anyway, we're talking about now, what is it going to be, 73 max? Is that what we're saying? I'm pretty sure.
Is that going to be enough?
Yeah.
Well, especially if you're making the concourses 4 times wider,
Yeah.
you're taking away some seats, I would
Yeah,
think.
73.
73 plus is what it is?
Yeah. And I believe it's 73. I'll have to go back and look.
That's
but,
a lot, man. For an NFL stadium, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's, I believe.
I thought the whole goal was, here it is.
Yeah.
Base capacity of 62K, expansion capabilities up to 71.5.
Okay, 71.5.
For a college football game and more for a concert.
Yeah, and so that was why I was directing it to you, Matt, because is that enough?
That's a great
or will
question.
they have other ways, other amenities, other areas where they can keep the biggest of boosters happy? Because I'm telling you, they, in this particular case, they don't necessarily need to be thinking about having this max capacity stadium. They need to have an experiential stadium.
So I think a lot of it is how much revenue can you generate in an effort to pay the teams. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But at some point, it's also going to be, hey, how many tickets can we sell? You're immediately going to tell 5,000 of your fans that they can't go to this game now, from each team, because it's now down to 73. So I think that's going to be so last year's attendance 75,868. So you said they keep bringing it down, and I think that's where they're at now with the latest.
Okay.
I guess the latest, the way they're expanding it. So it's 75,868, and that was considered 100%.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so because I kind of felt like that's where we were this past.
So if you can get it to 73, like they said, then you're only losing 3,000.
Right, because I felt like we had this discussion in the fall.
Right.
They were heading in that direction.
Right.
Just basically recreate the supply and demand, create an uptick. You're going to get more price-wise per seat. You can still pay the universities what you need to pay them to still have them coming to our city.
It's still 20,000 less than what they typically get on a home draw.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also talking about you're going to pay them a lot more over 2 years than they would make every other year.
Right. Yeah. Now, question asked on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Did they talk about construction timeline, games out of town? They're not going to give us anything right now.
No, but again, and I do want to reference this, and I know I see a lot of you that are saying there's more questions than answers. That's why they are having these huddle up Jacks meetings over the course of the next month. Again, there's at least a dozen of these listed right now. I'm going to post these up on our website here in just a second, so that you can look at them. You can find one that's close to your house, or if you want to make a trip out to the beach, there's some at the beach. If you want to make a trip downtown, there's some downtown. Wherever you want to go. And Mark Lamping is scheduled to be in attendance at all of them. And I don't want to defer to you guys and say, hey, you got to go ask them. But unfortunately, that's the state of things. Same with the PSLs. I keep seeing people on Twitter, and I'm now seeing it on the text line as well. We do not know. If you go to firstdowntownjacksonville.com, that is everything that we have, all the information we have been given is at firstdowntownjacksonville.com. We encourage you to go check that out and then check out these meetings that they are going to be having.
Mm-hmm. Go, and the old classic, let your voice be heard. It's any other city council setting, or by the way, the Saucy. Will you go ahead and hit that for us, JJ? Because this came out of a city council meeting.
Saucy Nugs.
Straight out of the city council. So you can be heard. And he wanted to make sure they understood that boneless wings are not really wings. And he was not happy about
that. That was a meeting.
Yeah,
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, he had his
true American hero.
Yeah, he is. He had his 5 minutes of fame, and he explained his passion and his side of the argument very, very well.
I think it was more than 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it was like a 15-minute thing.
But boneless wings are not wings, and so that's why he wanted them to be called.
To some people, they're wings.
Yeah, exactly. But
Saucy Nugs.
He appropriately named
some person that I know.
He appropriately named them. All right, now let's get to this other thing real quick. Let's at least set it up because we're going to say hello to Paul Spicer, 1 o'clock hour. We'll begin with him. Number 95, if you can give us some of your great 95s with our jersey countdown, 95 days until the Jags kick it off for real against the Indianapolis Colts. You can definitely throw some of the great 95s. Richard Dent has been thrown at us, that's for sure. We'll get to a few other ones.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, so the state of Miami, or the state of Florida, particularly Miami, is pretty much owning the sports world right now. We have the NBA Finals, NHL Finals. Messi going to Miami. Messi just signed with Inter Miami. He will be playing in the MLS next season.
Does David Beckham still own them?
I think he might have like a share. I know that some players have a part ownership deal down there.
His talent isn't the same, right, JJ? But still, that's a big
dude, he
deal.
won the World Cup, but no, obviously not the same as he was just even a couple years ago. But he's still Messi. He's still the greatest player of all time.
What happened to that $450 million?
Turned it down.
Yeah, that's just.
But
how much was that
apparently he's been rumored to be like given part ownership of this team to come play here.
Wait. So
How much is that going to get?
So he's
Probably
also
a
getting.
lot.
He's also that I
You
knew.
sure?
The news this morning was that he was signing, but he is also getting a stake in the ownership.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's some
and
some
look, you
Zava
figure
if I ever heard it.
If Beckham, who is it, J-Lo, a couple of other ones have some pieces of those professional franchises down there, I'm joking because MLS doesn't make as much as the others, but still, to turn all that other money down for a couple of
MLS
years.
is a very, believe it or not, a very profitable.
Oh, it's
league.
become.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were.
And you don't get relegated.
Yeah, it was sagging, big time there
Initially,
for a while.
yeah. And then they realized they can't play in these huge stadiums.
Right.
So now everybody has to build their own little 30,000 seat stadium, right. And now it's booming.
And
it's
who's the one out
booming.
west that has created that just incredible atmosphere? It's one
Portland.
of the.
Portland and Seattle.
I mean, they all
Both
have.
of them.
Dude, honestly, a lot of them.
They all
and I
have.
don't
That's good.
watch the MLS.
Orlando,
but like
Columbus, they're
Atlanta,
just crazy.
Atlanta's first couple seasons, they were like selling out the
Georgia Dome.
Exactly.
Or whatever, the
Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm telling you, Orlando's crazy,
Mercedes-Benz.
Columbus is
Orlando,
crazy.
and I give them all credit
Portland's
because
crazy.
There was thoughts for a long time that they couldn't pull it off. They have grown the game. There's no question about it. But it's funny, like JJ said, there's some that watch EPL, some that watch just World Cup, some that just watch the United States, and not all of them watch the MLS.
I think the Arlington team, check me, JJ, they play in the old Ranger Stadium, and they sell that out.
Oh, that's pretty good, and that's probably
And there's an Austin
30,000?
team now. Austin has their own stadium. That's the thing. They all build their own soccer-specific stadiums. So this is big. Will it like change MLS into a bigger league? I don't think so, but I think it's just big locally. People are going to be going to Inter Miami games like never before. I know they've only been around for a couple of years, but the tickets for these games is going to be absolutely outrageous now.
Yeah, we will get into
Imagine
that coming
turning
up.
down $400 million from the Saudis. Oh,
yeah.
Rory.
Yeah, and we got some sound from Rory and a couple of others that have come out with that. You can call it an emergency meeting yesterday up in Canada with the RBC Canadian Open. Rory is the defending champion of the event, so he was up there, and other ones were pulled in on Zoom, and there's been a lot of reaction and all sorts of stuff. So we'll get into that coming up. It's XL Primetime Golf. Speaking of it, 9 after 5. You want to head on out to the Golf Club of Southampton. Mia, you put a team together. Coach Campo's coming out.
Yes.
And so you can come on out, 287-play. They punched, but you're still going to see a great golf course.
Bo Valentine wants to know what's on the menu, too, a little bit later.
You know what? Derek DiStefano, owner of the Golf Club of Southampton, that's all the vowels except you. He is so organized that he has every league meal planned out well in advance, and it's an 8-week league.
So do you know what
I'm
the meal
hoping
is?
it's Taco Bar Day.
It was not, because 2 weeks ago we closed out the spring league with the taco bar. And
Okay.
Chef Gary, he does it right, but I'm going to pull this up. I will have this for
Okay,
you
good.
coming up in just a second, because I'm telling you, Double D spells it out week by week what we're going to have. So I'm looking forward to that. You can call 287-PLAY and get on the tee sheet. We need to get into a couple of NFL items, including one on the text line talking about Josh Allen. And then there's also a little bit of a boycott in the college game when it comes to the new video series that has come out.
But first, we're going to continue our countdown of the greatest players to wear whatever day it is as we count down to the Jaguars season. We're at 95, and we'll say hello to a number 90. Well, a former Jag.
Yeah, he's number 95,
He is number
Paul
95.
Spicer.
Paul Spicer
oh, yeah,
did wear
he wore
number
it well.
95. So we'll say hello to a former number 95 and Paul Spicer coming up in the 1 o'clock hour of XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Day by day.
A tremendous return. It's first and goal, Jacksonville.
And play-by-play.
And the Jags are going to win it in Wembley Stadium.
1010XL.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Ever wonder what it's like to drive a real military tank? Check out TankAmerica.com for a badass tank driving experience. That's right, you can drive an actual tank through mud and crush cars. Sounds awesome, right? Visit tankamerica.com.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Purchasing a new home cooling system has never been easier with Fenwick Home Services cooling, heating, and plumbing. Fenwick's experts will develop a custom solution for your home, including no-hassle financing. Your next system will be backed by Fenwick's up to 10-year worry-free warranty and installed as soon as the next day. Don't spend another summer season sweating through breakdowns and high utility bills. Book online at FenwickEasyBook.com. That's FenwickEasyBook.com.
This is head coach Matthew Driscoll from the UNF men's basketball team. When our players suffer an orthopedic injury, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists gets our players back on the court pain-free.
We appreciate the endorsements from our high school and college coaches. This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Prime Men's Medical Center now, and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. These intense summer storms are a good reminder to visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Check out Pella's new Hurricane Shield and Defender series. These amazing windows exceed all coastal requirements for storm protection. Seriously, they can withstand the impact of a 2x4 shot out of a cannon at 50 feet per second. You want quality, style, and protection? Visit PellaJacks.com and the showroom on Phillips Highway right next to Tesla. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley have been helping clients all over Florida with their construction perm loans for 34 years. Construction perm loans are not easy to find because a lot of banks and credit unions don't understand them, and therefore they don't like to do them. Well, your problem is solved. Trustline Mortgage wants to help you build your dream home. Our construction perm loans are single close, so you save money by not having to close twice, like with other lenders. Some of our construction perm loans allow you to lock in your interest rate up front. And if interest rates go down, we'll give you the better rate. We offer up to 100% VA loans, up to 96.5% for FHA loans, and up to 95% for conventional loans. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. That's 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you build your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing lender. MLS number 331480.
Business owners know Andy's Automotive and Truck Services for routine fleet maintenance or emergency repairs. Andy's offers after-hours and mobile service to minimize downtime and keep your fleet on the road. Visit andysats.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. If you're looking for a real solution to your thinning hair or hair loss, call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS.
What's causing your hair to fall out? Can your hair grow back? Get to the root of your problem with IHRS Hair and Scalp Analysis. This analysis magnifies your hair and scalp 400 times to see what procedures can restore your hair. Call right now for your free analysis, 904-777-IHRS, or visit hairforme.com. Stop wasting money on solutions that don't work. IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years. They are the only clinic to offer the trademarked multi-unit hair grafting PRP platelet-rich plasma and the NeoGraft FUE hair transplant procedure.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS or visit hair4me.com. hairforme.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by YMCA. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. As the Jaguars gave us the first look this morning of the Stadium of the Future, a few highlights include a 360-degree concourse 4 times wider than the current one. It will include interactive social bars and a variety of unique experiences. The seating capacity will hold a base of 62,000 fans with expansion capabilities of 71,500 for college football games and concerts. The open-air venue features a canopy that reduces heat retention by more than 70%, lowering temperatures 10 to 15 degrees and protecting from weather. Visit firstdowntownjacksonville.com or jaguars.com for a look at the first renderings. It's 88 degrees at 101. Time and temper brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
Is your phone charging? Take a look at yours.
Yeah.
It is?
It is.
How come mine's plugged in and it says my battery's running low? I looked over there and I've got...
Mine's is charging.
You got a little Prince working too.
I
Yours
hope
is
you're
charging?
all watching on YouTube.
We
Otherwise,
may
this
have
may
a
be bad radio.
situation here because it says mine's not. I know I'm Hey, Maddie, plug that into another one. Number 95.
What's it worth to you?
I don't know what's going on. 95 days until the Jaguars kick it off for real, and we're looking forward to counting them down with our jersey countdown. We thought none better than a guy who wore the teal and black with number 95 and say hey to him right now. Our man Paul Spicer joins us. Spice, how are you?
What's going on, Joe?
Man, it's always good to talk to you, always good to catch up. We'll ask what is up in Paul Spicer's life. But first, 95 days until the Jaguars kick it off for real. You wore that number. How special? Like, how many different jersey numbers did you wear in your career?
Like, man, I had to take the long road. So, I mean, I hate to put it out there, but, that first number many years ago in 98 in Seattle was 67.
Oh,
which
wow.
Was bad. But
that's a lineman number,
people,
bro.
As I tell folks, I was only there for a cup of coffee and a sandwich.
Bro, you was 67, bro. That's a pulling guard, bro. You ain't no pulling guard.
No, I'm not a pulling guard, but sir, on the low man on the totem pole, brother.
Oh,
you take whatever you can get.
I understand completely, bro. Hey, man. Hey, listen, listen, Paul. You've coached at the collegiate realms and the professional realms, and you've had your dealings with a lot of young up and coming defensive ends. And what do you think is the hardest transition for a guy going from college to pro as far as the defense end go? What's the biggest transition they have to make to go from that level to the highest level, which is the NFL?
Man, truly realizing that your talent is not enough, because the kids in high school and college, they've been pumped up so much from parents, coaches, fans, well, today, in today's world, social media, to where kids, when they reach that professional level, they really believe that it was just their talent. And if you can get a kid that's grounded, or you can help him get grounded, understand that he has to put work behind that talent to become one of those great NFL players, man, that transition is vital for guys to have a career. Too many guys are happy just to be able to be in camp or get into training camp. And, being in the spring league I have the last few years, I mean, I hear all the time, guys talk about where they been and things like that. I'm like, dude, forget about where you've been. How about let's work to get back there? Mm-hmm. That's what's most important. Mm-hmm. And, I think that's the biggest transition that I see. from these young guys coming out of college and wanting to become a professional athlete.
Now, Paul, when I made the transition from going to Miami to the Pittsburgh, I had a mentor, a guy named Tunch Ilkin, had been in the league 11 years. Kind of taught me how to be a professional. How essential is that for up and coming, like a young collegiate athlete coming to the NFL, that he has somebody in the locker room that he could pick their brains on how to stay consistent, in this business known as the NFL?
Man, that's I mean, you said it best. I mean, it's so vital. You can have that mentorship. I know for me, every time I talk about how I came up, I talk about Michael Sinclair. I talk about Philip Daniels. I talk about Robert Porcher. I talk about Tony Brackens. I talk about all the guys, James Jones, Luther Ellis, guys that I got an opportunity to watch and see. A lot of them Pro Bowl caliber players, but I saw them working. I saw them studying, and I was able to just be a sponge. And that's one of the things that, again, kind of going back to what we just talked about, unfortunately, and Joe knows me, I'm always keep it 100.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to keep it real with everyone as people know how I am. The problem that I guess got to put it out there, man, a lot of kids today, unfortunately, in our society, they don't want to be sponges. They come in like they come in as if they're a brick and they already know it all. And like you just said, you had a mentor. You listened to that guy. You wasn't trying to be like him. You're gonna be Leon Searcy, but you know what? When he says something, you listen. And if it can help you be better, you were gonna try to take it and adapt it to your play, and then continue to grow from there. And unfortunately, in our society today, these kids, a lot of kids come out, they think they know, they have all the answers, and they find out the struggle is real, because real life don't truly happen until you really out there on your own. And we try our best to try as coaches to help mentor and teach these guys, hey, guys, you have to understand that there's so much more that goes into it than just what the ability that you have waking up every morning.
Hey, Paul, if you were coaching Trayvon Walker, what would you say to him specifically to help bring out that number one overall potential in him?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say what I could say to Trayvon that's going to bring out his potential. I haven't watched him enough. I haven't put enough tape behind Trayvon Walker to really answer that question. But like I said, he is an exceptional talent. But again, does Trayvon Walker, which I have not met personally, so I can't really speak on, how's his feel. I haven't coached him and been around him to say how's his work ethic. At the end of the day, if he has the right attitude, it'll all fall in place for him, and he will become that player that the Jaguar organization, the Jaguar fans and community all wants to see. I want him to see. I want to see it. We all want to see him be that 10-plus sack guy.
So, Paul, let me ask you this then. We got word from Doug Peterson. He confirmed what we've all kind of observed at OTAs, which is Trayvon is working both with Bill Shuey, the outside linebackers coach, and Brenson Buckner, the defensive line coach. For you, as a defensive line coach yourself, what do you do with guys that are cross-training like that? And how difficult is it for a 22, 23-year-old player in his second year in the league to be doing that sort of cross-training?
Well, number one, I think that if Trayvon is just what I spoke on, if he's taking that approach as a sponge and willing to soak up, I know Brenson Buckner, work with Brenson Buckner. I know he's a great coach and is going to work with him, continue to teach him to play with extension, to play with violence and coming out of his hips with power. But again, the defense does ask him to do some things as an outside linebacker, drop in coverage and things like that, and you have to work on it. He's young. I mean, we all remember those days, Leon and Joe, you guys. But man, you can wake up after a long, hard day of workout and didn't feel nothing. Now you do a jumping jack and wake up and you feel like somebody hit you with a ton of bricks. But he's young. His body is able to transition and absorb that. The coaching from both sides as the outside linebacker and defensive line coach. So that way he can go out there and utilize his ability in both aspects of the defense. and get as much and maximize him and get as much out of him that you truly can for the Jacksonville Jaguars to be successful on defense.
Talk with Paul Spicer, former Jacksonville Jaguar, number 95, wore it proudly, made a lot of plays for this team back in the day, and now still in the game, coaching in the XFL. Got to ask you about that. But first, Josh Allen, and we don't know whether it's a holdout or anything, Spice, right now. He's just not participating in OTAs. They're voluntary. We all know that. But what do you think about a guy who's going into that fifth year? Teams picked up an option on him. Like you said, you've been coaching. You haven't been able to punch in film on these guys, but what do you think about Josh Allen and his future here, and what type of big year you think he might be able to have?
Well, at the end of the day, I think Josh has been around now long enough. 4 years going into, like you said, fifth-year option was picked up. But most guys, I mean, if you've been down to the combine and you speak to these guys, the first thing usually comes to their mouth when I used to go to the combine as a coach, I want to get to my second contract. and that fifth-year option is not a second. It's not a second contract. You know what I'm saying? Guys see that. Guys consider that as still their first contract. So I'm sure Josh's mind, he really wants that second contract. But the way the league is structured now, these young guys got that fifth-year option that teams can either decline or pick up. They picked it up. That shows a little faith on the organization side to say, hey, man, we know the type of guy you are and what you can be. We just really want you to really put it all together and go out there and make it happen. So that way, next year, we gotta give you the bag. And if you don't, then hey, that's on you. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to get the amount of reps that he needs to make plays. And we know his play. As I watch the Jaguars, he has those splash plays and things like that. And the big thing is, at any organization with a first-round talent like he is, you just want to see the consistency, And if he can bring that consistency to his fifth year right now, next year, this conversation will be totally different. We'll be talking about how many zeros is behind his name.
Well, see, Spice, that's the problem that we're having with Josh Allen is the fact that he gives us blips of greatness, and then he'll disappear and be Casper on us for 8 weeks, and then towards the tail end of the season, he'll showcase his talent. I mean, that's what's concerning to me is if they give him the bag and before the season starts, I mean, will he be as motivated if they say, hey, you got to give us one more year? I think he's got to get a 10 count. He's got to give us a 10 count of sacks before you give him the bag, because if you give him the bag too early, man, we might be a situation where those same inconsistencies that he's had at a pass rusher, we might see that again.
That's true, but as sirs, as well as I know, and I mean, Joe and you guys, I don't know everybody in the room. I've just heard the names, but at the end of the day, we see every year guys that inconsistent but have a big year. Somebody's gonna pay them at the end of the day,
right?
And you pay him because you pay him with the hopes that he's gonna continue to give us what he just gave us, what they just gave us. And if it's not here, it's gonna be somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, as you well know, as most of us well know, especially in the realm of the NFL and football business, it's all about what have you done lately. That's how they look at it. And granted, as a fan of the Jaguars, and I'm sure you guys, as much as you guys have covered, 1010XL covered the team for the years it has, all you want to see is, hey, week in and week out, brother, give me a sack or two. I used to tell guys all the time, hey, man, one sack a week, you lead the league at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Just one. And that's the thing that people don't realize, just how difficult it is. And I'm like, I'm rooting for the young man. I hope he's done went out and sought out the training and the coaching and even in the mentorship, because he can still continue to learn. He don't know it all. Just like I tell guys, I don't know it all. I'm still learning even as a coach, regardless of how many years I played. You're still learning and growing and hoping he's taking that mindset and that attitude towards his work, and hopefully at the end of the season, the bag is waiting on him.
Hey, Paul, you've heard the hype and the expectations of the offseason, even talk of Super Bowl. Is it too much too soon, Or do you think if you're in that locker room, you roll with it? It's who you are.
Well, when you have the momentum that the Jaguars had going into the tail end of the season and going into the off season, that's hundreds, the fans, people gonna talk like that. There's nothing you can do about it. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure in the confines, at TIA, they're not sitting there talking about all that. They just say, "Hey guys, let's get better today. Let's get better at one play at a time." And and as they come together as a team, because every year is a new team. It's not the same old Jags from 2022. It's 2023 Jags. So people got to realize that the team still got to come together and gel together. The great thing about it is, I think they got a great leader, and Lawrence. I think that the way he goes about his business and galvanize those guys, and with Calvin Ridley getting an opportunity now to play again. That young man right there is the one that people need to be keeping an eye on, because before the whole situation happened with him in Atlanta, you're talking about he was in my eyes, he was one of the top, easily in the top 10 of receivers in the National Football League, and he had the ability to be in the top 5. So it's like you got guys there that's saying, "Okay, we're here to go and help you." And once he gets going and get in the fold, I really believe he's really Jacksonville Jaguars really have a number one receiver that's going to help Lawrence, take his game to another level, because all good quarterbacks have that number one. Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison. Steve Young had Jerry Rice. I mean, all of them got him. You got Rodgers had Adams. So you think about that. I just, and sometimes it might be a tight end too, because you got your boy in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. You got the unbelievable tight end Kelsey. Yeah. So, but like I said, I think that the Jaguars are starting to put some pieces together that really, be a formidable, group this season, and just, can't wait for it to start. Look forward to happen, like I said, 95 days, man, and get this show on the road.
Love it. Spice, before we let you go, give us some insight into season number 1 with the, wait for it, San Antonio Brahmas. We loved that name when the XFL was first announced.
Well, I mean, the XFL was great. I had the opportunity to coach in the USFL and the XFL in their first years. And like I said, it was night and day. But the great thing about it was, I think Rock and Danny and Redbird Capital, I think they did a great job putting this thing together and giving these guys opportunities and giving the resources to the coaches so that way we could do our jobs in an efficient manner to give these guys every tool they need to go out there and be successful. And when you look at the number of guys, which is, the number continues to climb every day for guys who are getting signed back into the NFL that was in the XFL first season. It's just a testament to the leadership, but also to all the coaches there. I mean, it was a lot of guys that had a lot of NFL experience, from head coaches to position coaches like myself. And, my hat goes off to all the players that went out there and took advantage of it, because you had a lot of guys that really took advantage of it and put in the work to get that next opportunity to show the NFL that they belong.
Yeah, it is awesome. And Hines Ward, I never would have pictured him necessarily as a head coach, but a good leader, you're saying.
Hines, I think he did a great job. Yeah. I mean, it was new to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's learning. Hines is learning, and when you come up and become a head coach, there's a lot of things that that everybody else, even assistant coaches, sometimes we don't know about. But the head coach got to deal with a lot of it. He managed it. He managed it well, I would say. I think he had some hair growing a few times, but like I said, his first year, he had to manage a lot. So going into year 2, see how it all works out for him.
All right, buddy. Always good catching up. Number 95, a great number 95 in a Jaguars uniform. Josh Allen had 7.5 sacks last year. Paul Spicer did it 2 times in a 3-year stretch, 7.5 sacks, getting after the quarterback. All right, buddy. Always good catching up.
All right, buddy.
Talk to you later.
All right, see you.
7.5 sacks in 2005, 7.5 sacks in 2007. You know what those were? Those were playoff years. Those were playoff years.
He also didn't lead the team in sacks either, for what it's worth.
Right.
Everybody was eating, as the kids like to say back then.
Yeah, and they definitely had the productivity, but that 7.5 sacks for Josh Allen, it's not a high water mark, but it's one of the it's his second best season. So, all right, you heard what he said. We'll get into that a little bit more coming up here in just a second. Golf Club of Southampton bringing you today's show, 287 Play. You can definitely jump in this afternoon. Good 9-hole game. Grub afterwards. Prizes. Just call the Golf Club of Southampton, 287 Play. Let's react to what he said as far as Josh Allen is concerned and Trayvon Walker as well. And the stadium renovation. It's been unveiled. I shouldn't even say renovation. Renderings have been unveiled. We'll get back into that coming up.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Brunell wants to run at the 20 and leaps a defender. Incredible leap over Mike Magruder, who's left holding his jockey shorts.
Jaguars pride forever. 1010XL.
Mia O'Brien here for my friends at Duck Duck Rooter, the experts when it comes to all things related to plumbing and septic. Maybe you're planning a full plumbing repipe for your older home, or you need help with a new septic system installation. Duck Duck Rooter can handle it. From septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, clogged drains, new water heater installations, they do it all. Duck Duck Rooter is also a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So when you're stuck, just call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS right here in Jacksonville is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE Neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS. IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Do you have a VA loan? In this housing market, homeowners with VA loans have access to a ton of instant cash. Hey, it's Prosser here. Do you need cash to pay off credit cards and other high-interest loans? Does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound about right now? Well, Loan Pronto is helping veterans every day get the money they need with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity lines, car loans, consolidate all your payments into one check per month, and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now to see what your options are. Call Loan Pronto at 999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Waste Management is paying a $5,000 bonus to CDL drivers and heavy truck mechanics for jobs in Jacksonville, Green Cove Springs, Callahan, and St. Augustine. Apply online at WM.com/careers.
Equal opportunity employer.
It's the blog players put their pads on for.
So we got to bring it. My thoughts and observations on our home team. That's what I share with you every week on my blog.
Roland Reach Plumbing brings you Hayes Blog on 1010XL.com.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Buying or selling surfboards, guitars, amps, or musical instruments or equipment? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn wants to either buy them from you or sell you what you need. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
The players are on the field, and 1010XL is there. Driven by Tire Outlet. Listen for 1010XL's coverage of organized team activities and minicamp. Brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services and Safe Harbor Seafood Restaurant and Market.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home all week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tomorrow is Coors Light Thirsty Thursday with beer specials. Then it's Red Shirt Friday with fireworks presented by Baptist Health. And the first 2,000 fans on Saturday get a free Jumbo Shrimp duffel, plus more fireworks. Baseball all week and weekend. Tickets start at just $5.
Picking here. After work's done for the day, I know you like to find your favorite sofa or recliner and watch the game. That's why you gotta call Zero Res this month. At Zero Res this month, tell them I sent you, and you'll get 25% off all upholstery. Zero Res.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's all about what have you done lately. That's how they look at it. All you want to see is, hey, week in, week out, brother, give me a stack or two. I used to tell guys all the time, hey, man, 1 stack a week. You lead the league at the end of the season. Yeah. Just one. And that's the thing that people don't realize, just how difficult it is. And I'm like, I'm rooting for the young man. I hope he done went out and sought out the training and the coaching and even in the mentorship, because he can still continue to learn. He don't know it all, just like I tell guys, I don't know it all. I'm still learning even as a coach.
This is XL Primetime, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
A combination of some of Leon's favorite things, Prince and Paul Spicer. The two P's that everyone needs to live by. It's XL Primetime on a Wednesday, rolling on our thanks to Spice for joining us in the last segment. Mia O'Brien, Joe C., Matt Hazley on Cersei, JJ LaSelva. A rare occurrence to see all four of us in the summertime all together in studio, but excited to be all together to speak with Spice and now react to some of the news and notes he had regarding the Jaguars' 2023 defense, boys.
You think about it, and when you hear what he has to say, and it is, you got to have a mindset, and you've told your story, and I think fans appreciate it. Spice certainly has told his story. I mean, you got to have that hunger within. You got to ask yourself to do more, and I'm guessing right now Trayvon Walker's doing that. You hope Josh Allen's doing that. But, yeah, if you can be productive, you can get your big old contract these days.
Yeah, I mean, in this league, it's all about consistency. I mean, what can you give me day in, day out on the practice field, week in and week out in the games that's going to translate to you making more money? This is a more money league. The better you play, the more money you make, the more guaranteed money you make. So, listen, we don't know the situation with Josh Allen. We don't know if he's holding out. He can show up next week. Mandatory man camps, all this goes away. But if he is, he's got to be more of a pillar of consistency. You're the 7th pick overall, and we expect more. He's your rookie. He had an outstanding rookie year, double-digit sacks, all right? Had a little bit to do with the fact that he had perennial All-Pro right next to him. But he took advantage of that. They made the most of it. But after Calais left, we saw the dip in pressures. We saw the dip in sacks and consistency and all the other kind of stuff. Basically production. Yeah. So I mean, he's got to be more of a pillar of production. He's got to lead the way for the guys behind him. He's got to set the standard, the bar when it comes to consistency as far as sacks. You can't disappear for 8 games. You can't give us what you gave us early on, a little bit early on. I think he had like 2 sacks or something like that, maybe early on 2.5.
Well, he disappeared for 8 games.
And then for 8 games, go away. You basically go Casper on us. And then the latter part of the season, you picked it up, whatever. We've got to see more consistency from him if he wants to get the bag. And if I'm the Jaguars, real quick, I'm the Jaguars, I don't give him the bag before the season. Absolutely not.
No way.
No way.
No. I think what Spice said kind of underscored what Dave said yesterday, our coach, Dave Campo, and what I said that Herm Edwards told me, like 95% of the guys that get to that second contract get there because of what's between their ears, not because physically. He is clearly a physically ready guy. He's clearly if you're gonna say, okay, and I said this time and again, not only for Trayvon Walker but for Josh Allen as well. If you're gonna a prototype edge guy, both of them are that's what you want. Yeah. If you're looking for a 4-3 end, Trayvon Walker's the guy you want. If you're looking for a 3-4 edge guy, Josh Allen is the guy you want. Right? So then it comes down to how badly do you want it? How badly do you want to get better? And I go back to what Will Muschamp told me, like when they drafted him. He said no one will work hard on that guy. He's extremely talented. He will be a great pick. He may not be a great pick early, but he will eventually develop into it. So the question then becomes does it happen? Does it click this year in year 2 when the big jump from all guys that are in college, it takes them a year to get used to it. Does it happen this year?
And you can marry up what Mike Caldwell said Monday about what he sees in Trayvon Walker and was talking, and then Hayes' conversation with Trayvon. Because Trayvon basically said he's ready to get, and I'm just putting words in his mouth right now. We could pull up one of the sound bites, but, ready to get loose. And Mike Caldwell's like ready to get unhinged, basically saying kind of the same thing. And so Caldwell's got to get it out of him. And then Trayvon, technique-wise, has got to become a better football player on this level.
I want to tie a couple other things to that. Albert Breer's column yesterday for Sports Illustrated, he dove into Trevor Lawrence, his development, some quotes that he thought stood out to him from Trevor's availability on Monday. But the big takeaway he had, and then he kind of dove inside the numbers. From every draft since 2019, there have been 12 quarterbacks selected. Do you want to know how many of those quarterbacks have not been through a head coaching change? Of the 12.
Since 2000?
Or rather, how many of them have had a head coaching change of those 12 that have been selected since 2019? Those are the quarterbacks in the first round, selected in the first round.
Right. But we're only talking 4 years, but I still bet it's double. I bet it's 8.
So it's 12 total quarterbacks since 2019. 7 of them have been through a head coaching change. That leaves 5 that have not. And of those 5, 4 of them have been through a coordinator change. Now, why do I bring this up? That's quarterback position, the all-important quarterback position. But I think it's equally as important for a young pass rusher who, as Mike Caldwell noted, last year was a learning year. How important is it that they kept that staff together, that same brain trust that's supposed to be teaching Trayvon Walker had the plan when they selected him number 1 overall, that everybody is still here?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think, and Coach Campo and I, we did our Campo and Joe podcast yesterday, and we all had this conversation on the air yesterday, was that draft and develop, they go together, and good coaches make good players even better. And so, consistency is king. And it could, what Mia just said is true. We focus on the offensive part, but that defensive dude needs developing too. And the worst thing imaginable, not the worst, but you know what I'm saying, Matt, is that he played all these different positions, and then they just tried to take him, to the highest level and try and get him to focus in on one of them and be great instantly, which ain't easy.
So I think this needs to be said as well. It's the majority of his time at Georgia was played on the edge, whether it was an even front or an odd front. It was on the edge. Right. So it's not like he's coming in and this is all brand new to him.
Very true.
He did play inside some at Georgia. The majority of his snaps were on the edge. So I truly think it's just simply a matter of, okay, is he comfortable? How badly does he want it?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, and Leon can speak to this, is if you're in that league, it comes down to how badly do you want it? How bad do you want to succeed and then get to the next level of success?
Yeah. I mean,
he has everything. Tools, every tool he has.
Yeah, but it's like you see the puppy in the window. I mean, you want to make sure the dog can bark. And that's what I want to see for Trayon. I didn't see enough of the dog barking.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes puppies don't get their bark until
I know,
13, 14 months.
Yeah,
Mine just got his. So
but if he come whimpering, I'm worried. I'm concerned. I want my dog to bark. When I take him home, I want him to bark. All right? That's why I want Trayvon Walker. I want him. That's what I want. I want my dog to be a dog. I mean, I understand, first pick overall, transition, and all that kind of stuff. But we saw glimpses of greatness from him early on in the season. We saw that. And for whatever reason, he just tapered off. And I don't know. I mean, he didn't even get to the rookie wall when he tapered off.
It was almost like they adjusted. He didn't adjust back.
Exactly. I mean, because listen, when we was in the preseason, we were in awe of him because he had a couple of sacks, got a couple of pressures, got up. And I said to him, I was in the preseason, I said, don't get carried away because a lot of that straight up and down is not going to work in the NFL. You can't just bull rush everybody, the offensive lineman. You've got to have an arsenal of moves to get that offensive lineman off his spot. Because every offensive lineman, whether they know it or not, they know it. There's a spot that you want to get to. And the defensive player, it's your job to get him off his spot. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't enough of that from Trayvon. And I'm sure because I played with the guy, get under the tutelage of a guy like Brinson Buckner with the defensive the defensive tackle part, he's going to be able to get him to utilize his hands, to flip his hips, to swipe and club and change the direction, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think you'll be able to utilize him at the 5 to 7, and then you'll be able to utilize him at the 2 and the 3 technique, where he's on offensive tackle sometimes, and sometimes he's on guards. And I think that's going to be beneficial to him because when you're 6'6", 265 or 255 or whatever he is.
He's at least 265.
Yeah, 265, and listen, offensive guard doesn't want to see that. Trust me. He doesn't want to see the long, lanky, athletic guy.
This is what he is.
Strong guy.
He's
a strong
They
dude.
don't want that, trust me. Because most guards, I hate to say it, and I play with a couple of them, they're short and squatty, all right? And,
nailed to the ground.
Nailed to the ground. Go use their feet as often as they should, okay? So he should be able to win some of those battles.
I love it. All right, we will keep it rolling on that front. You jump in when it comes to both of those guys, Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, as far as what you think, and then, of course, what Spice had to say. 95 days. Coach Campo did throw another 95 at us, and it was one of his guys back in the day. And it's worth bringing up because Chad Hennings.
Played against him. Yeah.
Number 95 in Dallas, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Not only that, he was an Air Force grad and flew a Warthog jet in the Gulf War. Yeah. Great person, excellent player.
6'5".
At that,
he flew one of those jets.
That's pretty cool.
You don't see that anymore.
I love Coach, but Coach had to bring in a guy who beat us in the Super Bowl. Of course he did. I played against him in the Super Bowl. Hell of a player.
By the way, we've received several votes both on the text line as well as on Twitter for the, quote, only number 95 that matters. Lightning McQueen from Cars, the movie.
Excellent.
We appreciate all of you Lightning McQueen fans out there. Fantastic. We're going to say hello to Doc.
Little Barry breakdown.
Little Geo talk. He avoided us ahead of NBA Finals Game 1. We gave him a sick day last week, but he is back. He's going to join us next right here on XL Primetime on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. We live where they vacation.
I got my toes in the water, toes in the sand. Not a worry in a world of cold beer in my hand. Life is good today.
1010XL.
Life is good today.
Saturday, June 24th, the UFC returns to Jacksonville. The heavy-handed Josh Emmett looks to turn back undefeated phenom Ilia Topuria, plus dangerous Brazilian Amanda Ribas takes on the future Macy Barber. Don't miss UFC Fight Night, Emmett versus Topuria, live from VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Why are you walking around with knee, hip, and back pain? Or any pain? Why do you think, you know what, this is as good as it's going to get? It's not. Just say yes to Yas, Dr. Mitchell Yas and the Yas method. You probably tried medications, treatments, injections, even surgery. Maybe the reason you're still in pain is because they're treating the wrong thing and not fixing the root causes. I found the best-kept secret in pain elimination, Dr. Yas and the Yas method. Call him today, 904-906-YASS. That's 904-906-YASS. YASS, and say yes to YAS, the best kept secret in pain elimination.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Youth sports are getting back into full swing, so you know what that means. Custom Yetis so dads can keep their beer or sodas cold. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open-air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Prime Men's Medical Center now, and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 7, 1989, Wayne Gretzky wins the NHL Hart Memorial Trophy, awarded to the league's most valuable player. This was his 9th honor in 10 years.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children. Dr. George Barry here, and as a specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatments of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at barryorthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
This Father's Day, take Dad to your nearby Woody's Barbecue restaurant for lunch or dinner, and they'll give him a gift card for $7.99 for his next visit.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat.
Business owners know Andy's Automotive and Truck Services. For routine fleet maintenance or emergency repairs, Andy's offers after-hours and mobile service to minimize downtime and keep your fleet on the road. Visit andysats.com.
When it comes to selling your home, wouldn't you have more promises than problems? That's where Chad and Sandy step in. They guarantee to buy your home. If it's not sold on your agreed-upon date and deadline, they will buy it. That's why we're recommending Chad and Sandy Newman. Perhaps you're worried about settling for less money with a low-ball instant offer. That's not a problem because I got a promise. Chad and Sandy, the only real estate experts you can trust to this. Your home will be sold at that agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Lynn in Orange Park said, I wanted to move to be closer to family. I heard about Chad and Sandy's success and guarantee on the radio. I hired them. They couldn't have been more pleasant. They delivered as promised. My home sold above list in 3 days. How do you get this? Well, call the only agents I'm trusting and recommending. Call Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
right, now this was with Georgie Buckets.
You know Georgie loves this.
This is Georgie Buckets' permission. Gio, as I like to call him, Dr. George Bari, normally his walk-up song, totally different. But Gio, it is Prince's birthday, and Big Sur insisted on every song coming back from break being a Prince song. Do you approve?
That's fine. We'll allow it for today.
Exactly. We'll allow it.
Yeah, if you don't think that's a good idea, take it up with Leon.
Exactly.
He's not physically in the studio. He's only calling in. So
Yeah, do you
that
really
was
get
the
what you
concession.
want?
Right, that's why he said we'll allow it. Because
Exactly.
he was sitting in the studio and he said, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, he can bow up. You can bow up on the phone, right? Right. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. All right, now, he is the man when it comes to sports injuries. You're looking at BariOrthopedics.com online. You can see all that they can take care of. The only surgeon in Northeast Florida, fellowship trained under the renowned Dr. James Andrews. So let's get into a few injuries. If you have any of them that are, well, aches and pains that you're dealing with, you can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. We'll try and bring it up now or hit it on our Breaking Bones show Sunday morning at 7:30. The first one is the obvious one, Georgie Buckets, because I think you thought your team might be down 0-2 coming back to Miami, but you and I talked about it. They were able to pull it off, but they're still going to be without Tyler Hero. So they've ruled him out for tonight's game. And have you seen him in warm-ups? It doesn't look that bad at all right now as far as what he's able to do.
Yeah, I mean, he looks okay in warm-ups. I'm still surprised that, and I don't know, maybe they're just doing it for gamesmanship to kind of trick the other team, but we've been hearing he's going to come back for the past, 5 weeks now. And,
True.
And we keep saying, or at least I keep saying, I think it's too early, and he's still not back. So now we're looking, I think, at a timeline that's more reasonable if he decides to come back at some point. But I think before, when they were talking about it, was way too early.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And look, your club, at least spend a second on them. They wore out Denver the other night, both sides of the court. You pretty jacked about tonight?
I'm excited. I went to on Memorial Day. I went to Game 6, the little buzzer beater.
Mm-hmm.
That little buzzer beater.
But we won't talk about that since we're in the finals anyways. But I think, I wouldn't be shocked if the Heat won both games, to be honest. I mean, the Heat played great at home. Their defense was swarming last game, especially in the fourth quarter. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Doc, let's segue to the Major League Baseball. I'm dying to know. Aaron Judge, the run into the bullpen heard round the world, probably literally was all 6'7", 250+ of him barreling into a wall that apparently has not been moved in 40 years.
It's the only way we could get him out of there.
Very much into detail on Sunday Night Baseball. The official word after testing yesterday is that he has a contusion, a sprain of the ligament in his toe. He is headed to the IL. There is no fracture or break, though, in the toe. What do you make of this injury?
Yeah, I think whatever when he slammed into the wall, obviously bad enough. Basically, he jammed his toe is what he did. No fractures, which is great. I think he's on the 10-day IL. So it's kind of day to day, see how he does. Sometimes these little bruises can hurt for a week or two. So we'll see how he does. But there's no fracture or anything, so I think he'll be back fine. Just give him his 10 days off, and I think he'll be back with no problem.
So I want to go back to the ball real quick with you. How do you feel about it now? It's 1-1. What's your gut right now? Are you feeling good about your boys?
100%. No doubt in my mind.
100%.
Hell yeah.
100%.
Got to be that way right now.
Wow. So they're going to win the series then, is what you're saying?
Listen, I wouldn't be shocked if they're good if they win. They have to listen. I think the Heat have to play perfect. I don't think they can have any mistakes. I think they have less room for error than the Nuggets do. But if they play like they have been playing, I don't see why they cannot win.
All right, let me give you a couple more, if we can, in the baseball world, and one is the biggest one, actually, Jake DeGrom. You and I'm telling you, as many times as we've done Breaking Bones, DeGrom has been on our rundown countless times. So here he is again, a UCL tear. He'll undergo Tommy John surgery. It ends his season, likely knocking him out maybe all of next season, Doc. He teared up when talking about it, that he might be able to come back late next year. He left April 28th was the last start, and he left with forearm tightness and went to the 60-day IL. This is the second Tommy John that he's had, and his first was back in 2010. What is he looking at?
Now I think we've talked about it for the past couple of weeks. Isn't that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about forearm tightness. It's like the secret code that everyone hates to hear in a baseball player. And here you go. Now he has a Tommy John. And I believe it's the same arm, correct?
I believe so. I'm looking at it because it says it's his second Tommy John, but I have to look and make sure. I would think so, yes, because we're talking about the same pitching arm.
He is a pitcher.
Yeah, same pitching arm.
I'll tell you what, it's unfortunate. It's going to definitely take longer for him to come back. Left-handed guys get a little bit more of a pass than right-handed guys, just because they're more of a need, I guess. But it's definitely not as easy as the first one. And we always tell patients, whenever you fix ACL, UCL, anything, you can always re-tear it, right? And here you go. I believe this guy's the same arm. So it's definitely possible. Those 13 years later, he re-tore it. It's definitely going to be a harder surgery just because of the scar tissue, and he already has bone tunnels, which should be healed. But anatomy is going to be very different now. But hopefully for him, he could come back and be how he was.
I'm sorry. Was the first one screwed in, Doc? Is that how you guys do it?
Yeah, there's many ways to do it. There's actually a couple different techniques where you can do a figure eight, and you tie it across itself. There's ways where you can put screws in. There's two or three different ways to do it. And normally the screws that they use are bioabsorbable, where it should reabsorb. Now, this was 2010, so I don't know what technique they used, or if they did use screws if it was bioabsorbable. If it's metal screws, then you're going to have a problem because you have to take it out and you have a big hole there and you just got to fill it back up. But I think in 2010 they were doing a figure eight and tying it together, so maybe no screws in there.
Speaking of Tommy John, and this is on the football side of things, Doc, Brock Purdy, according to Kyle Shanahan out in San Francisco, is right on pace. He throws 3 times a week. Obviously, he suffered that UCL injury in late January. So we are, less than 5 months removed, and he's throwing 3 days a week with a football.
Count me among the radio doctors surprised.
Yeah. What do you make of those reports, Doc?
Well, I think that's great. We talk about, I think they mentioned him coming back in 6 to 8 months from the beginning, and this puts him at about 5.5-ish. And we discussed that if that is the case, it's probably a repair, not a full reconstruction. So if it's a repair, 6 months is the minimum. Usually 6 to 9 months, but yeah, if it's repaired and not reconstruction, I'm not surprised. People do come back much quicker than that. But if it is a reconstruction, I would be completely shocked if that's what he had.
All right, you got questions, you can hit us with them, 641-1010, joint pain, whatever it might be. We will try and put it on Breaking Bones Sunday morning with my man, Dr. George Barry. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com. You can check out everything they got going. And on Instagram, G?
Dr.George Barry.
What's the number tonight? They win by what?
Heat up by 4.
By 4. All right.
Wow.
Looking at the betting
Little
line.
home field advantage. Little home
very
court
conservative.
advantage.
That was very conservative.
But I think, weren't they catching 2.5? JJ?
Yeah, they're like 2-point underdogs.
Yeah.
You know what they say about the surgeon? Always confident, never right.
Hey, Doc, with all this stadium talk today, you said you were down in Miami. I'm just curious, what was the vibe like down there in South FLA and at that arena?
Before or after?
Before.
Probably dead.
Before.
After.
I'll tell you, it was great. Everyone was excited. And then when the game ended, all you can hear was the obnoxious Boston fans just screaming. And I think there were a couple fights kind of hovering around the stadium.
Yeah.
Well, they got theirs a couple days later, so
exactly.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, the Nuggets officially, according to my friends at MyBookie, 3-point favorites
Up to 3.
tonight. Up to 3.
Okay. All right. All right, Gio, I know you're going to be a little nervous tonight. We will talk to you Sunday morning, 7:30.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Be good. You can check out our podcast. Just go to 1010xl.com and find our podcast there, Breaking Bones, or wherever you listen to podcasts. The other thing that we didn't mention to Doc, and this is just a little tweak, it looks like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I was about to try to bring that up to try to combine a couple of promotions for you, Josie.
Yeah, and so do you see the news? It's not that big of a deal because they got their OTAs going on down there. I'm just looking to see
Mini camp, as a matter of fact, I do believe.
Yeah, just tweak the ham, nothing major. But anyway, Tyreek Hill, I want to say he's going to have a little speed camp going on up here, but you have a chance to win a hello and an autograph, a photo and an autograph with Tyreek Hill at Palm Beach Autographs. Friday night, 6:30 in the Avenues Mall. All the details are at palmbeachautographs.com. And we will take a couple of callers to qualify for that right now, 641-1010. We'll draw the winner before Friday and make sure that you have time to get down to Palm Beach Autographs. That's Friday at 6:30. All right, Big Sirs, you were heading out, enjoying the rest of the afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Are you? And I gotta give you credit, man. The Sonati's donuts. He swore to me. He looked me dead in the eye. He said, "I ain't eating one of them."
It's called discipline.
And it is discipline.
If you don't have discipline, you don't have anything.
Yeah, it's the truth. Those are wise words.
I was tempted.
I know, and I'm just trying to let everybody know that you resisted temptation.
Yes, I did.
Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
You got it.
All right, Big Sirs heads out without a donut, but the rest of us, well, we might have had one. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Anytime Fitness Sawgrass is the preferred gym of yours truly, Mia O'Brien. Strengthen everything from calves to confidence.
1010XL means.
Your signal, that means.
Yeah, that's what that means.
It's so cool.
Jacksonville Sports Radio. It's 1010XL.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Do you have a lift station at your business? Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services would love to be your maintenance provider. Give us a call for a quote today. 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com.
June is the start of hurricane season. Now is the perfect time to make sure your home is protected from those storms by scheduling a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof and Contracting. And right now, get 15% off your roofing project, plus flexible financing. This offer expires June 30th and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 1330747, CVC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Do you have a VA loan? In this housing market, homeowners with VA loans have access to a ton of instant cash. Hey, it's Prosser here. Do you need cash to pay off credit cards and other high-interest loans? Does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound about right now? Well, Loan Pronto is helping veterans every day get the money they need with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity lines, car loans, consolidate all your payments into one check per month, and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now to see what your options are. Call Loan Pronto at 999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Father's Day is coming up, and what better way to show your dad you care than with a gift from Woodcraft? Whether he's a diehard football fan or a golf enthusiast, we have the tools and supplies to help him create something he'll love. From personalized signs to custom golf club holders, the possibilities are endless. Plus, our experts are always here to help you with any project. So don't drop the ball this Father's Day. Head over to Woodcraft today. Woodcraft, the home of champion dads.
The players are on the field, and 1010XL is there. Driven by Tire Outlet. Listen for 1010XL's coverage of organized team activities and minicamp. Brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services and Safe Harbor Seafood Restaurant and Market.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pick up basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at barryorthopedics.com.
Hacker here for the Sausage Dude Sausage. Look, I'm a sausage guy, and the Sausage Dude Sausage is the best sausage I've ever had. The Sausage Dudes use high-quality pork, natural casings, along with love and dedication. You can pick up their 4 terrific flavors, including my favorite, the Italian, at Publix locations all throughout Jacksonville. And a portion of the proceeds go to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida. Take it from me, the Sausage Guy. Get over to Publix right now to get your hands on the Sausage Dude Sausage.
Come for the fishing, stay for the fun. I'll see you at the captain's meeting for the old school Kingfish Shootout presented by Dailies and Yellowfin. It's coming up Friday at the St. Augustine Fish House, and then the tournament gets underway on Saturday. Old school indeed, with limited boundaries. You got to catch your own live bait. It's taking a Kingfish tournament back to the old school days. You can be a part of it. Not too late to enter. Make sure you get that entry in this week. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com. And meanwhile, I'll see you for happy hour at the St. Augustine Fish House coming up on Friday.
If your hair is thinning and you're looking for an easy solution that will restore your hair, check out IHRS PRP Platelet-Rich Plasma. PRP, using your own platelets and cells to restore your hair where it's thinning. Combined with their FDA-approved laser hair therapy and pharmaceutical-grade products, all three will deliver one better result. Call IHRS now for a free evaluation and to find out if their PRP 45-minute treatment will work for you. Now there is a solution for any man or woman with any degree of hair loss. And it's all in one place. Call 904-777-IHRS. IHRS has been restoring hair for over 30 years. The staff at IHRS knows what it's like to lose their hair. And that's why they're ready to help you grow your hair back.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm Taylor Dahl for 1010XL. As the Jaguars gave us the first look this morning at the Stadium of the Future, a few highlights include a 360-degree concourse 4 times wider than the current one. It will include interactive social bars and a variety of unique experiences. The seating capacity will hold a base of 62,000 fans with expansion capabilities of 71,500 for college football games and concerts. The open-air venue features a canopy that reduces heat retention by more than 70%, lowering temperatures 10 to 15 degrees and protecting from weather. Visit firstdowntownjacksonville.com or jaguars.com for a look at the first renderings. It's 88 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temper brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So you're always wondering what's happening not only in Duval, but around the rest of the AFC South. Free agent wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, according to Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, is slated to fly to Nashville on Sunday for a visit with the Titans. D-Hop and Mike Vrabel together in Houston. Vrabel's team is the first to get a visit with D-Hop, and we'll find out whether or not five-time Pro Bowler would be attracted to them. Money-wise, they cleared a lot of cap.
Great news for Tannehill and Will Levis. Great news.
Yeah.
I mean, because you already have Chizaquano, the tight end from Maryland. The kid was fantastic last year, the rookie. You got Treylon Burks. You add him to that, that's a nice little threesome right there.
And the other part of it is that Derrick Henry doesn't need to be constantly looked at to be the engine, the diesel.
Right.
And at some point, as much as, I marvel.
And Robert Woods, by the way. That's 4.
Yeah, he's come back. He's 2 years, will be 2 years removed from an ACL, but he certainly wasn't that effective last year. But the bottom line is DeAndre Hopkins will be hungry. He'll still be a guy that can make plays. Tannehill's trying to come back from what was, you could just call it a disappointing, injury-plagued, however you want to describe it.
No left tackles, Allied.
Yeah, he got his butt beat.
Yeah,
he really
crushed.
did. And so there's an opportunity if D-Hop comes into the fold, you're going to see him back inside the division. He was part of the Houston Texans for a long, long time, and Vrabel came from that camp up to Nashville, so that's where that tie is.
If he becomes even 85% of what he was,
yeah,
I mean that's big. That's
for
them.
Look, anywhere he goes, he will make a team better. Will he be a number one? I don't know, not necessarily, but on that receiving core,
he will be their one.
Yeah, he very, very, very likely he will get more targets
unless Treylon Burks just has a crazy offseason.
Right, and again, D-Hop is now not the stretch it. He's always been. I will make the tough catch. I will keep the chains moving. I will keep the possession rolling. And he was never necessarily that over the top deep threat guy. Although if you go back, you remember a couple plays that Kyler Murray made with him. He was a deep threat because Kyler Murray was running all over the place
Right.
before he heaved the ball down the field.
Right.
And so he is a very capable guy when healthy. And that's what it comes down to. All right, so you're taking a look at that with what's going on around the National Football League.
That gives you a little pause, I think, a little hesitation in the
Sure,
AFC
it
South right
should.
now. I don't see how it couldn't, if
Yeah.
he lands there.
Yeah, and look, I have penciled in 10 wins.
6 of those dubs
against
in
the
this division,
AFC
yeah.
South and NFC
Yeah.
South. And I feel like, and I'm going to say 9 coming between those two divisions. I'll go 9.
I'm going 8.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go. I'm going 8 just for safety purposes.
Yeah, and I was going 10.
Because
and
I think that when you look at the remaining 7,
Yeah,
if
I went
this
to 9
team,
for safety
right?
purposes.
If this, I'm going 8
Yeah.
just because. Hello, look at the 2021 Jaguars that somehow inexplicably beat the Buffalo Bills in a game in which only field goals were accounted
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
The Texans even
Josh
last
Allen game.
year.
The Texans last year. That's another
Just
one.
happened.
Right.
It was disgusting.
Weird things
It
happen,
really
and that's
was.
okay. But if you really believe that this team, and I'm going to pull up the bite because I think we can play this in the 2 o'clock hour. I think it's worth noting. Nick Wright of Fox Sports 1, First Things First, is once again beating the drum nationally for Trevor, which we love.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he was looking at Broussard, and he's like, "You're going to tell me that the Bills, who also get ousted by the Chiefs year in and year out, who almost got beat by Skylar Thompson and the Dolphins, are better than the Jaguars?" Well, yes, especially with the Leonard Floyd signing and all the other moves. They signed Cam Dantzler this morning. You could certainly say they're pushing all their chips to the middle of the table.
Yeah.
But based on resume from a season ago, can you really say that the Bills are going to stomp all over the Jags in London? Can you say that the Ravens are going to come in here to TIA Bank Field and stomp all over a team that they got beat by in the same place last season? And so that's where then I look at those remaining 7 games. They're going to win at least 4 of them, quite frankly.
Let's go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and make this the
3
eye.
or 4.
Let's make this the eye in the offseason.
3 or 4.
Okay?
3 or 4?
Because I just want to roll
A lot of
through-
them are home. That's why.
I just want to roll through these quarterbacks. When you see the number of inexperienced quarterbacks, and we'll do this countless times, but right now it's topical because we're talking about Nuke maybe coming into the AFC South.
Time now for Eye on the Off Season, brought to you by Dr. Robert Schnipper and the Jacksonville Eye Center.
Dr. Robert Snipper fired up, as always, just like every other Duvaller out there. He's been ruling all of Duval for a long time as the top ophthalmologist in the market. Glasses, contacts, LASIK surgery, cataracts, any part of your life as you grow up or grow older, he can help you see clearly. So make sure you get in touch with the folks at the Jacksonville Eye Center, 355-5555, or log on to drschnipper.com and see everything he's got going on. So if we just roll through this, and we mentioned a couple of teams that they will face, and we know who the bigs are, okay, if you're talking about the top quarterbacks that this team will face, it's pretty easy. Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. Those are all playoff starting quarterbacks. Those are all damn good quarterbacks that this team will see. But let's roll through a few others. Where is Deshaun Watson right now in your hierarchy of quarterbacks? You're going to see Deshaun Watson and Cleveland a little later in the year. I think they come after the bye week. Where are we at with him? He's a guy right now that I still think has a kind of a fat question mark next to his name, Matty. I really do. I believe that.
I don't see how you couldn't.
Right.
I mean, he only played, 6 games, right?
Oh, he
Was
came
it
in
5 or 6?
11. Yeah, so that's 6.
6, yeah.
So 6.
He was kind of like,
Yeah, he was just a little meh. And so right now you got 4 qualities. There's no question about it. I'm not going to argue any of those and say this team should take them lightly.
Right.
But Deshaun Watson would maybe be the next most accomplished guy that you would say, hey,
That's
they
insane.
got their work cut out for them. Then the next one is whoever is leading the San Francisco 49ers because they're a good football team.
Also
Kyle
insane.
Shanahan.
Yeah, and we saw exactly. It's the Kyle Shanahan chosen quarterback. I saw Trey Lance moving around a little bit yesterday in minicamp. It didn't look bad. Now it's against air and all that kind of stuff, but we mentioned Brock Purdy earlier coming back and already throwing the football around. It's either he or him. Brock or Trey, one of those two. Okay, then after that, you ready? Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis.
One of those 3 is going to be pretty good.
Will Levis, Ryan Tannehill. It certainly could be Tannehill. It could be Gardner. this team will
Could be Bryce
face.
Young, too.
It could be Bryce Young.
You better hope it's Bryce Young and not one of the guys you play twice.
Yeah, well, I think Bryce Young, you have to look at it and go, you know what? You better beat that club. They run the ball well, but you better beat that club.
Yeah.
Even though we're talking top pick and all that kind of stuff, you got to beat that club. And so inexperienced guys that they will see on this roster, you can call Brock Purdy and Trey Lance inexperienced. They have less than 3 years in the National Football League, either one of these guys. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, all newbies, all rooks. Will Levis, if you see him, a rook. Desmond Ridder, second-year guy. Kenny Pickett, second-year guy. Baker Mayfield is the other most experienced guy out there. That's how I can attack this schedule and say if they can get 2, maybe 3 wins out of those bigs, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, obviously Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. If they get 3 out of those 5, or even 2 out of those 5, and then those other wins, you're looking at a 12-win season. 12 wins.
I understand what you're saying, okay?
I know
and
it doesn't always happen
I'm the
like
first
that.
guy to say it's all about the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you can say, okay, well, this quarterback's not any good, so you shouldn't win that game.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it last year.
Right. Well,
Tebow almost beat him with the Jets.
Yeah.
So you have no idea.
Yeah, and I can't help but look at it. Kenny Pickett's going to have a good football team around him. Yeah, he is. He's playing them at home, so you should never take that lightly.
Panthers are a pretty good team.
Yeah, and if you're looking at, like, Desmond Ridder and the Atlanta Falcons scare me not one bit, okay? Tannehill obviously scares you with Derrick Henry and everything else that they've got. That is an AFC South rival that you will see twice. You may see him twice. You may see him or Will Levis once. Who knows?
Bucs have a good team.
Yeah.
Saints have a good team.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the Bucs have. The Bucs do not have a good team. Dude, that thing has been stripped down.
The Bucs have players.
If you get,
I don't know if they have a good
if
team.
your quarterback completes, 15 of 21 for 220 and a couple scores and no picks, they're going to beat you. They're good. They're good enough.
Yeah, they're good enough.
And
they're good enough.
if-
The
I'm
Saints
just not going to
also.
call them a good team.
Saints also.
Yeah, the Saints defensively very good.
And for both of those, what if, like the Los Angeles Rams and Arizona Cardinals a year ago, what if the quarterback, heaven forbid, gets hurt?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Derek Carr, a lot of hopes are pinned on him, and he has not necessarily delivered for other teams when hopes are pinned on him.
But he's also good enough.
He's good enough.
Well-
He's good enough to beat them.
And they have a very good defense.
And it's at home.
Yeah.
And I say
on
all
a Thursday night.
Correct. I say on short rest for the Jags, which would be just about a week and a
That's
half
mixed
after they
with
get back
bourbon.
from London. I say all that. Don't forget our second Skylar Thompson reference of the show.
Yeah.
What the Miami Dolphins were able to do when Tua went down.
Mhm.
What the Ravens still making the playoffs when Lamar went down.
Yeah.
So
Snoop, yeah.
there's certainly an
can
opportunity.
happen.
It can happen, but then I look again at the Rams, the Cardinals, who now, because they didn't strike the iron while it was hot a season ago, now look poised for rebuilds.
Yeah. And so you must take advantage. I guess my main message here is that when you do see weakness, you've got to attack it. You must
No, I
take
agree with
advantage
that.
of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and we'll just find out whether or not they can do it.
Yeah, believe me, I've been saying for 4 months, their window's open now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like their window's going to happen in a year for a couple.
Right.
It's now. Right now, their window's open.
Yeah, exactly.
To make a big run.
All right, there you go. Eye in the offseason. Don't forget drsnipper.com. That's the easiest way to log on. Take a look at the Allegretta Wave, the LASIK. If you're just like going to the beach and you're like, I don't have to worry about contacts, glasses, or I want to go in the ocean. I want to jump in the pool. Make sure you find out about LASIK. Find out about cataracts, especially if mom and dad need that. You can do it all. drsnipper.com. The stadium plans unveiled today. I heard from my buddy Elijah, former Jax Beach. He was a legend. And now he's up there in Asheville, and he already saw the renderings. And he said, I said, bro, we're the king of renderings. We have got some renderings. So let's get into what they...
Theirs is done, though.
Yeah, let's get
It
into
improved.
what they unveiled.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit more about it. We definitely have some reaction on the YouTube and on the text line that we will get to coming up on XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Dan Hicken.
I've seen the man sober. He's not funny.
Jeff Prosser.
He's thick-headed and insensitive and reactionary, and generally less fun to be around than any person I've ever met.
The Drill.
Is that what this is all about?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Well, at least that wasn't weird.
The Internal Revenue Service is reported to be receiving $80 billion in additional funding for the 2022 tax year for unpaid tax enforcement. There has never been a budget increase this large in the history of the IRS. All this funding is for more revenue officers and collecting delinquent taxes. If you owe the IRS, you have a short time to get your tax issues resolved or face financial devastation. J. David Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville and provides tax relief for all personal payroll and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
At Batteries Plus, we power family road trips. We power bedtime stories. We power our local hospitals. We power connections with friends. We do more than replace batteries and fix phones and tablets. We help our neighbors power their lives. How powerful is that? Visit Batteries Plus in store, curbside, and online for fast and reliable phone and tablet repair. Learn more at batteriesplus.com.
In your free time, the last thing you want to do is clean your house.
Right.
First Coast Home Pros offers luxurious maid services you can trust. Weekly, bi-weekly, or even one-time deep house cleaning. FirstCoastHomePros.com. FirstCoastHomePros.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Thanks to the coaches and the schools who believe in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is head coach Ferland Dormery of Trinity Christian Academy High School. Our athletic program selected Southeast Orthopedic Specialists to work with our state championship football team and will continue to use them. We recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Catch a wave to the Jacksonville Sharks for their fight against the Fayetteville Mustangs this Saturday, June 10th, 7 o'clock at the ViStar Arena. With tickets as low as $15, you cannot find this kind of affordable fun anywhere else. It's Hawaiian night in the Shark Tank. Stay for the post-game auction to win our Hawaiian Sharks jerseys. Kids, 6 to 16, sign up for a chance to dance with our junior attack dance team. Shark Tank, this Saturday, June 10th, 7 o'clock at the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Call 904-621-0700 or check out jacksharks.com. Fins up.
Learn what it takes to make a great signal call.
Give me tear green right, 97 Busters.
And hear stories from a quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Who made that call?
Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security. Security and automation experts on 1010XL.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars in their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
Want to drive a real, authentic tank? For your chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime tank driving experience package for you and 3 friends from TankAmerica.com, text the word TANK to the 1010XL text line at 641-1010.
Hey, it's Joe C., and we want to see who can challenge me and the XL Primetime gang for the Sonny's Barbecue Rib Eating Contest, live right here at the 1010XL studios. Text the word RIB to 641-1010 for your chance to enter in Rib Mania for America as we gear up for America's birthday. Contest will be live on air June 27th, and you can be part of all the action. Thanks to Sonny's Barbecue for providing the ribs. We just need you to see if you can beat us. Text RIB to 641-1010 for your chance to enter.
Hey folks, you ever search why Shark Coatings is the best? Well, one of the many reasons is our polyurea. We don't just buy it from anyone who has it in stock. We custom blend ours, specializing between summer and winter blend, providing you with the best products for our area. After grinding the concrete, that polyurea will form a permanent bond at the molecular level and will not pull away like epoxy. With Shark Coatings, not only will your garage look awesome, but your pool deck, patio, or driveway will too. See how Shark Coatings can make a difference for you. Call, click, or text today.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Look, warmer weather now means mosquito, flea, and tick season is here. These pests are out for blood, but you don't have to let them win. Protect your home and family with Kingfish Pest Control. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their products are safe for kids and pets. Plus, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can relax knowing your yard is pest-free. Call today, mention the Jags to receive 10% off your initial service. That's Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
Busy Wednesday
That's one right
in
here.
Duval County. Most important, though, is celebrating the birthday of Prince.
Keep going, JJ.
And you're going to call this the best
this
one?
might be my favorite Prince song, yeah.
It's good.
It's really good.
Like you
Leon
start-
may be out the door, but you know we're still going to keep it
Well,
going.
he's still bumping right now.
Yeah, yeah.
He's out there listening right
he's
now.
in his car right now. It's no doubt.
Can you see him? Big fella can move. You just see him. Oh, yeah.
Is he?
I like to move
Is he
like...
table dancing?
Yeah, I like to move like the golfer on Caddyshack, you know? Just the top half of my body moves. The other half doesn't. But I guarantee you Cersei is moving. But you're going to call that the best, huh? There were
My
so
best,
many
yeah.
good ones.
My best.
So many good ones. I probably will tell the
Purple
story.
Rain's obviously is probably like.
Yeah.
So Purple Rain's probably like the real number one,
Mhm.
but after that one is probably.
I have to go back in the archives and get one more out for JJ before we're done. But I tell the story once a year. It's fun to do because the one and only time that I got to see Prince was an impromptu as he was getting ready for the halftime. He did the presser for the halftime Super Bowl, and
No way.
he just broke it out and basically just showcased his guitar, and you just went, oh my gosh.
He just pulled out like an acoustic and started playing?
Yeah, like why didn't I see more of this guy more often? And he and the Rolling Stones were the two really entertaining pressers that I'll never forget. You know, it's just as far as, you know, because the classic Prince did a little mini performance right there. And then the Rolling Stones was, I think it was, what was his name? Rick Tellinger from the Chicago Sun-Times. It says, as the story goes, if a nuclear strike comes and the world is coming to an end,
Keith Richards.
it's either a cockroach or Keith Richards that will be the last one standing. And so one of them popped up and said, of course it's Keith Richards. He'll eat the cockroach. And then he just went off. And that was after Janet Jackson had done the wardrobe malfunction. And so everyone was on edge. And then it was either Mick Jagger or one of them says, you all are out there worried whether one of us is going to say eep or not. And he just let the F word fly. It was classic. It was
It's
neat.
funny
It
you
was,
said, I was on YouTube last night doing some research on for some story I was writing, and I got, you get on YouTube, you get in the sync, the time sync, and I saw Keith Richards, May of 2023, so this is last month.
Yeah.
Rehearsing for a tour.
Oh, it's just
in Europe. And he's as old as dirt, man.
Yeah.
But
It's
he's
beautiful.
still soulful.
Yeah,
Still
he's good.
soulful.
And by the way, I'll just use this as a total aside because this is what we do on XL Primetime. We bounce. This is just who we are. But I keep telling you, I don't know whether it's a one-off. Maybe somebody can let us know on the text line or on YouTube. Daisy Jones and the Six is on Prime. I love it.
What's it about?
They won't say for sure, but it's about the beginning of Fleetwood Mac.
Really?
Yeah. It's Daisy Jones and the Six.
All right, I'm on it.
And Daisy Jones is basically Stevie Nicks. And it is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. It's awesome. Very, very.
Who's the actress that plays Daisy Jones?
Yeah, I want to say it is not Priscilla. It's Lisa Marie Presley's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is she hippied out like?
Oh, she's
Stevie
totally.
Nicks?
Oh, yeah. It is.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it's
like
good.
I like it.
It's
All
set
right.
in the 70s.
I'm getting intrigued now.
Yeah, it's set in the 70s. It's really good.
All right,
And so, and I don't know whether it's a one-off, but let us know if it is, because I've enjoyed everything I've seen so far. And like, you're just trying to look historically at how these things go down. All right, now we meant to bring up the stadium. So let's do that. Let's bring up the stadium. What I see, I like. What's not to like, okay? A stadium rendering is always going to be just complete and total eye candy because it's got everything. Drone setting or drone coverage type of setting where you're flying through all parts of the stadium. You're seeing these 360-degree views of it, and they are telling you everything you want to hear. But the one thing they haven't quite told us, and I hope that this does happen when they go on that campaign trail. Let's just call it a campaign trail. When there was a worry that this team might go over to London more often than not, when there was a worry that this team was losing or the city was losing its hold on its team, Tony Baselli into the picture. We called him mayor of Tealtown and all this kind of stuff. And then there was basically a barnstorming tour that took place that Mark Lamping either initiated or headed up, however, because I call him one of the most innovative sports business dudes I've ever come across. But anyway, they went to Gainesville, they went to Daytona, they went to Savannah, they went to a lot of places. So this is like a mini version of that, I think, because this is all about this city. And so he's going to hit how many? I mean, he's going to hit all parts
About
of
a dozen.
Duval.
It starts on Monday. Literally Monday is the first one, and it's at Strings Sports Brewery at 11:30 a.m. That's right there in Springfield. If you haven't been, it's a super fun venue just to go to.
Yeah.
And then the final one culminates June 22nd, 10 days later at the zoo.
Okay.
So we're spanning the gamut
In
here.
front of the Jaguar exhibit?
Well,
So
that's
the
what
question is-
Papa G on the text line, by the way. His only critique of the text line is at my Lifetime Enclosures, of course. His only critique of the renderings, where is the petting zoo with the Jaguar in it?
There you go, the petting zoo.
Because especially because they phrase it off the top as, welcome to a Florida rainforest as you descend up the stairs.
That's pretty cool.
There's one obvious huge hole, but you really can't say when because you got to go through this process of getting it approved first. But the idea is when do the renovations begin? Now, if you're going by the Florida-Georgia contract, which was renewed for 24 and 25, renovations won't start till 2026. It's a long way away.
Yeah, there's a report out there that the construction would start in earnest in January 2025, but the team would not have to play somewhere else potentially until 2026 and then 2027, which is when there wouldn't be the commitment to Florida, Georgia. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's correct. Well, they want that commitment because
Well,
it's
yeah,
every 2 years.
right.
You basically get a
But
2-year deal
but the
and a
current
2-year
2-year
option.
would be up.
Yeah.
And so that's where it would be. That would be the season. 26 and 27 would be the 2 seasons if the team.
So again, we go back to then you're losing, 18 games, the Florida-Georgia game, the Gator Bowl, all those. Not only just those, that economic impact of those games, I guess is my point. And that's a significant chunk of tourism dollars of having your team here during a time when they could be in the playoffs, in the AFC Championship game, in the Super Bowl. Imagine if you have an AFC Championship game in Gainesville.
Oh, yeah.
Or a playoff game in Gainesville.
And I totally
2
get
years in a row.
Right. I totally get what you're saying, but just if you're dealing with a bad team that needs a stadium, what are they going to say? Why the hell are we getting a new stadium for a bad team? They're not even going to, there's going to be bad news surrounding that. And this is good news. And if that were to happen, like you're saying, and they just happen to go ahead and say, we're moving forward with this bad boy, it's going to take us 2 years. Please be patient because we're going to have this unbelievable atmosphere. Fans are going to drive over there to see that AFC Championship game, and they're going to. It's going to be
the same thing.
Well, I know that. I totally get it, but it's at some point, if there is going to be something brand new, there's got to be a teardown. There just has to be.
All right, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but are you? This will be our never-ending question until we find out what's going to happen.
Build it right next to the old one.
Yeah, then at somebody else's money. It's going to be hard enough to get this money.
I mean, you got to convince Shaw to come up with more than 40%.
Yeah.
Well, you'll do 50-50.
That's still probably not going to get it done.
You don't think
They're going to do it on that.
You don't think 50-50 does it?
Oh, no. He was referring to the actual.
No, I'm talking about a brand new deal, 50-50.
I don't think so because then
right there in Lot J, and then tear the other one down when you're done with it.
Yeah, I know that we have had other examples where they've been able to do that, but I just think the cost is king right now, and it makes it really, really tough to do that. And I feel like you're saying 3 times. I feel like the numbers would be 3 times as much. That's a lot.
Well, this one's going to be, what, $1 billion, you would think, huh?
Yeah, it goes 1 to 3.
With cost overrun, it's going to be $1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the city's paying for 60% of it. That's $600,000.
Mm-hmm.
So their investment would go then from $600,000 to about
1.8.
1.5.
Yeah.
If it's $3 million. $3 billion.
Yeah. 1.8.
So 2.5 times.
So you're saying if you did
2.5 times
50,
the commitment.
50. Yeah, I got you.
You went 50-50. You got them to go 50-50. Your commitment would be 2.5 times with the original one, which is significant. There's no doubt about it.
Right, because then
it's going to be hard enough getting them to come up with the $600 million.
Right, then
it would be significant.
Yeah, the $400 million then becomes 1.5, and that's more than triple.
Yeah.
On the ownership side. So I don't know where they go.
But it's also what do you want? It's also do you want something that is going to not only cost you to lose games, it costs you to lose economic impact. And look, this has to be said, whether you like it or not. I know people don't want to hear this. What if it costs you to lose the window?
Mm-hmm.
What if your window truly is 26 and 27 or 25 and 26, and they don't go back to the playoffs for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years?
I get it, but if you plan on being a good team that's well managed, which is what this team plans on doing, hopefully going forward.
A lot of history there, brother.
Well, I know that, but you don't plan. This was the best. I call it. I'll say it over and over. This was the most professional hire this team ever made in hiring Doug Peterson since Tom Coughlin, and you could argue it's the most professional. And then you've got the best quarterback, and then you don't know if you've got the best general manager just yet, but there are earmarkings that this team is coming together.
3 straight pretty good drafts, yeah.
And so for other NFL cities have absorbed this and then just kept right on trucking with more playoff appearances and everything else. Now, the St. Jerry's world where he says, I'm financing that whole thing all by myself. I'm going from Irving to where are they at now? Arlington, I think. Anyway, he said, I'm paying for this thing. It's all mine.
That was like $1.2 billion when he
oh
did
my
that.
gosh.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's just.
But again, but he's Jerry Jones, and it's Dallas. Yeah. He can do that.
Yeah, and so.
And it's not that Shad can't do it, folks.
Right,
again,
but it's a different financial situation.
It's the owners would never approve in Jacksonville that sort of situation. I'm sorry. It's a fact of the matter. 68-43. You could pet a stingray in the worst stadium in Major League Baseball. Petting a jaguar would be a low bar. Get it done.
It's not that the owners, they don't have to approve. If Shad Khan said, I'm paying for the entire stadium,
right,
the owners would be upset about that, but it's not for them to approve or disapprove.
Right. They just want to
There
share
has to
the
be an
revenue.
owner's vote, does
Shad
there not?
Khan, yes, but
Build a
Shad
stadium?
Khan, I don't know about that.
I think just
I
the
don't think
plan
they're
has
But
to be
Shad
approved. I don't
Khan
think
could
so.
easily do it himself.
No, but there has to
Nothing's
be an
stopping
owner-
him
there-
from doing that.
right.
I don't know. I don't know if if there has to be. That's worth checking because I really don't know. We'll find out that answer because I would think when you get stadium approval, you get to move forward however you decide to do it, and then the NFL would agree on that. But we'll come up with that answer.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, coming up here in a second. It's XL Primetime Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Call 287-PLAY. Get on the tee sheet tonight.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Anytime Fitness Sawgrass is the preferred gym of yours truly, Mia O'Brien. Strengthen everything from calves to confidence.
Meet 1010XL's Afternoon Warrior.
Full transparency, I've never done battle.
Hayes Carlisle.
I've just pushed some people and run away.
Weekdays on The Frangie Show.
This is man's best hope.
On 1010XL.
Attention car buyers, are you noticing markups on vehicles on dealer lots? Well, come to Key Buick GMC, where we never have markups on our vehicles. Ask for Derek or Brian, where we have fair value pricing, no additional markups, as well as the only Buick GMC dealer with a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new Buicks and GMCs. That's only at Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade across from Tinseltown on the corner of Southside and Gate, or go to our website, keybuickgmc.com.
The Community First Igloo, the newly renovated family ice facility, is celebrating its official grand opening from June 6th through the 11th. The fun starts Tuesday with a ribbon cutting at 11:30 a.m. While there, check out the Key Renter Esports Gaming Lounge for free gaming from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. all week long. There's also free public skating from 10 a.m. to noon on Wednesday and Thursday, a beer tasting event, and a mixology class set for Friday and Saturday. For more information, visit communityfirstigloo.com.
Patriot Roofing Services, specializing in all types of commercial and residential roofing and repairs, gutters, sun tubes, skylights as well. 10-year workmanship warranty, financing available, military and senior citizen, discounts, no subcontractors. Mention this ad at the time of the estimate and receive $500 off any new re-roof. Call Mark today, 982-4052, 982-4052, licensed and insured.
This is Hayes Carline for Island Wing Company, located on Southside near Tinseltown, and our new location at Bartram Park in St. Johns County. Two great locations offering the ultimate sports bar experience where you can stick to healthy options. Island Wing Company has a wide selection of fryer-free food. The wings are baked, not fried, with so many awesome flavors to choose from. You can also get delicious salmon, tuna, flatbreads, and tacos. With tons of spectacular TVs, dog-friendly patios, and 2 daily happy hours, Island Wings can't be beat.
When you want to be heard, send your opinion to the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Thank you for believing in me when the bosses didn't give me a chance.
641-1010. No texting and driving. Get your thoughts heard on 1010XL.
We've been telling you for almost a year about Nathan's Family Chiropractic and the 100-Year Lifestyle Network. If chronic back or joint pain is keeping you down, don't listen to me. Listen to what Jacksonville is saying about Dr. Alan Nathans.
The stem cell treatment took the pain away.
Changed my life. It's awesome.
Your body just works better when it's aligned. We're believers.
His no-needle regenerative protocols are giving people their lives back. Get yours back, too. Go to the pro in the know. Don't do another cortisone injection. He's one of us helping all of us for the past 25 years. For more info, drnathans.com.
Open early and open late. Dailies is always there, making things easy for you to cruise in and cruise out. So hit Dailies Cold Case the next time you're craving a cold one. Bud Light by the case, plus plenty of singles to choose from. Corona, to the king of beers, to Stella or a Natty. They're all cold at Dailies.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods, and I'm proud to say that Underwoods is the longest-standing member of the American Gym Society in the state of Florida. That's important because the American Gym Society promotes professionalism inside the business, and most important because of how it protects the customer. Gemstones are like most things, and you have to have the knowledge about them before you can tell the truth about them. That's where the American Gym Society fits in. They're the organization that certifies gemologists and registered jewelers and certifies sales associates with professional titles. Then, to ensure that we stay up to date with these gemological advances, we re-win our titles by passing a written test every year. And now I'm proud to say Underwoods has the largest credentialed American Gem Society staff east of the Mississippi River. So if you're interested in diamonds and jewelry and want real professional help, stop by Underwoods.
Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
No dental insurance? No problem. Introducing the Care Plus program from the dental offices of Dr. James McCall. For only $625 per year, you will receive 2 cleanings and dental exams, a full set of x-rays, plus 1 emergency dental exam and x-ray. You'll also receive a 20% discount on all other services offered. Kids 12 and under will receive the same program for only $525. Call Dr. McCall today at 620-9225.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
How beautiful do the words have to be?
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Huh. This is chill and deep, isn't it? What year are we talking, JJ?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking there.
This is a deep cut, by the way.
Yeah. Soulful, thoughtful.
Great song.
Was this a Maddie suggestion?
No, this was this was Matt.
What?
He said
Still-
the wrong name of the song. This was 1995. This is
95.
Dolphin.
But it doesn't outrank your favorite. Okay. I was just trying to figure
You know,
out.
it's funny. Eric Clapton was the one that asked, "What's it like to be the greatest guitar player ever?" And he said, "I don't know. Go ask Prince."
Ask Prince. And Prince never said this is going to be the only thing I do. And Eric Clapton also never said this is going to be the only thing I do. But Clapton was just so revered. But yeah, I love that answer. I love that. little self-deprecating and a little humility and pointing to the star because he looked up to that talent.
I mean, the guitar work he did on While My Guitar Gently Weeps on the concert with George Harrison was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Look it up. It's just
he made his guitar
phenomenal.
talk, for goodness sake.
He did.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I do?
He made it weak.
Him and Bruce
that was
Spring-
Peter
him and Bruce
Oh,
Springsteen.
damn. I don't even know who
No.
I thought that's
Also
who
a
we were
great guitar
talking
player.
about.
I was going to say, Bruce Springsteen learned how to make that guitar talk as well.
Yeah. There are, you can call them the GOATs. Back in the day, there were many of them that came through. That's why we still play those songs 50-some years later.
So
Something else.
during the break, did do a little bit of research as far as do you need an NFL owner's vote to get a new stadium? Unfortunately, it's not as readily available as here is a step-by-step guide of what you need for a new NFL stadium like we were all hoping for. But I can tell you this, from the Titans Stadium, which was just approved a few months ago now, essentially, the Titans and the city council in Nashville and the state of Tennessee went to the NFL and said, here is how we are going to divide the funds to pay for the stadium. And when they did that, while it was a 60-40 split at the end of the day, apparently 10% of what the estimated cost for the new stadium will be is being financed by a larger deal negotiated by the Titans and the mayor's office with the G4 Stadium program, which is run by the NFL owners.
Right, I was going to say, the NFL put up like $300 million for that, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's essentially where the owners get involved.
That's where they had to have a vote.
Jerry paid for it out of pocket with a little bit, as we are now seeing, and we did that research as well, especially with recent renovations they are planning at AT&T. That is now being generated through taxpayer money.
Right.
But when it came to here's how much the team is footing, it was all Jerry.
Yeah.
In this situation, the Titans, they're saying they're paying this much, but in reality, $300 million of it is actually the NFL owners.
And that's the one thing, that there is not a public fund in this state to help finance stadiums, that it's going to have to come strictly within this city and within this ownership. And then the only other thing I always felt like was that they said they have to pass a plan to make sure that it's financially or fiscally responsible.
Correct.
Meaning you're not going to have a white elephant when it's all said and done. Oh, wait a minute, this didn't meet the NFL's requirements, and all of a sudden it's not done properly, and you need to go back to the well for more, and there isn't another well. It's run out of water. That's why the NFL needs to have their hands in it. They're not going to tell you exactly how you got to do it, but they're going to make sure that everything is done properly.
So here is exactly the breakdown for Tennessee. The Titans and NFL officials are paying $840 million. That includes this G4 revenue for construction costs. The state legislature, again, in the state of Florida, this doesn't happen, unfortunately. The state legislature contributes $500 million. Metro Nashville leaders would issue revenue bonds for the remaining $760 million, and those costs will be repaid by stadium and surrounding campus sales taxes, as well as a 1% Davidson County hotel tax.
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, honestly, they're gonna have to. This group, new leadership's gonna have to really work hard, and the Jaguars are gonna have to try and figure out the best way that they're going to get that cash that's necessary to make both sides happy, that everyone's going to get a good deal. All right, there'll be plenty more of this talk, not just this afternoon on the Frangie Show and beyond, but over the next several weeks as this will all start to come to fruition.
And should be noted, programming note for you guys, while yes, we will be handing it off to the Frangie Show momentarily, the Jaguars assistant coaches set to meet with reporters this afternoon at the bank. So that is where I am headed, and you will be able to hear from those coaches coming up on the 1010XL social and video channels.
And then tomorrow morning?
Oh, and tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's right. Good call, Joe. I keep forgetting that's coming down the pipeline.
It's tomorrow morning.
A very, very special edition of The Drill beginning at 6 a.m. It is the Mia O'Brien Variety Hour. There are plenty of you that will sleep through it intentionally, and that is A-okay. I hope there are more than a few of you who would like to tune in. It'll be yours truly, E.T., from 6 to 7, and then Lauren Brooks and Tommy McManus join us from 7 to 10 as Dan and Jeff take a well-deserved vacation.
Tommy Mac's like, I'll see you at 7, man.
Same schedule on Friday as well for you Googans
It's
out
XL
there.
Primetime. Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
It's right here. Hello.
Radio waves sound great when you're next to ocean waves. 1010XL. Catch the wave.
Joe Seifert, the Preferred Group, the Preferred Builders, Preferred Roofing. They really have a number of different divisions that suit all of your construction needs. And you know how busy it is right now. You got to get on the schedule for maybe a new roof, a remodel, addition, whatever it might be. Go local. Remember, this company's been around since the 60s, and they know what it's like to make sure that they can deliver on their promise, which is what you would expect. PreferredRoofingJacks.com, PreferredBuildersJacks.com. Check them out for your next project.
Wrestling fans, the River City Wrestling Con will slam into the Jacks Fairgrounds June 10th and 11th. This two-day event will feature appearances by pro wrestling superstars, exciting wrestling matches, and an assortment of vendors and artists. Guests include Kurt Angle, Saraya, Jake the Snake Roberts, Rob Van Dam, and many more. Get tickets at RiverCityWrestlingCon.com or follow on social media for event updates. June 10th and 11th, the River City Wrestling Con at the Fairgrounds.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Duck Duck Air Conditioning, a division of Duck Duck Rooter, is looking for experienced and dependable HVAC services technicians to join our growing team. Duck Duck Air Conditioning is committed to delivering the highest level of service to our customers. Successful candidates will be hardworking, dependable, possess strong problem-solving skills with at least 2 years of HVAC experience. Ready to get to work? Please visit our website at duckduckac.com and click on the careers page. We look forward to hearing from you. That's duckduckac.com.
DuckDuckAC is an equal opportunity employer. Chad and Sandy Newman have a promise for you at chadandsandy.com. Your home is going to be sold guaranteed, or guess what, gang? They will buy it. Right now, it is prime home selling season. Home buyers are actively looking. Mortgage rates are stabilizing. It's the ideal time to get your home sold for maximum dollar. So any problems you think you may have, whether you want maximum equity for your home but not sure how, or maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades, don't worry about all those, because chadandsandy.com have a promise for you. They guarantee your home sold at agreed upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Denny and Patty in Waterfront Manor said another agent failed to sell our luxury waterfront home. We were tired of waiting, so we had moved out. It was costing us a fortune. We decided to put Chad and Sandy's guarantee to the test, and they did it. Our home sold in 12 days for $56,000 higher than the previous agents even suggested. Call Chad and Sandy, or better yet, go to chadandsandy.com. That's chadandsandy.com.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
Catch Mia's quick hits on the video and social channels of 1010XL, driven by Arlington Toyota.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is the sports medicine leader in Northeast Florida. We're proud to be the official sports medicine provider for your hometown teams, including the Jaguars, Sharks, Axemen, Armada, and the Jumbo Shrimp. We have the most cutting-edge resources for sports medicine care, including active armor casting, Alter-G anti-gravity treadmills, and highly trained physicians and athletic trainers. JOI is truly where the pros go, and so should you.
Come for the fishing, stay for the fun. I'll see you at the captain's meeting for the old school Kingfish Shootout presented by Daly's and Yellowfin. It's coming up Friday at the St. Augustine Fish House, and then the tournament gets underway on Saturday. Old school indeed, with limited boundaries. You got to catch your own live bait. It's taking a Kingfish tournament back to the old school days. You can be a part of it. Not too late to enter. Make sure you get that entry in this week. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com. And meanwhile, I'll see you for happy hour at the St. Augustine Fish House coming up on Friday.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Hey, remember this?
I don't believe what I just saw!
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Time now for a Modelo moment. Make your next moment with a Modelo.
And he misses 4 straight. So Smith looking for the 3. He's been on fire and hits. He's tied the game at 110. Drexler puts the move on Anderson. Drexler with the finger roll. The tip launch around. The Rockets lead 0.3 of a second.
Tell you what, you go back in time, 1995. This is something we all have to raise our right hand and look at Leon dead in the eye and go, when we have Nick Anderson on, we will not bring this up. We will not bring this up.
It's the unspoken truth of it all.
But the free throws.
We're always like, hey, remember when you stole that ball from Jordan?
Right.
And nothing else happened in your career?
Right. Wait, never mind. I lost
totally
my
that. A Jordan moment, man. So good. Tell us about that again.
I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, well, that was honestly somebody drank a Modelo.
He's a great
after that.
dude too.
He is a super nice dude.
Yeah.
I told TLD, I said he's invited us down to come to a Magic game. We're all going to take him up on it. Go to Corona, smoke a stogie, an All-Pro Series
Such
cigar.
a good guy. Yeah.
So
And never bring that up.
And never bring it up.
Bring it up. All right, let's bring something else up with our man Ace Garland.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet, keeping 1010XL on track with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
The Embedded and Shredded joins us now. I tried to tempt him with a donut, and he said no.
It's because I had ice cream at the Jaguar Stadium before I came.
Will you be the new biographer of the new stadium now, too?
I might.
And
I don't know that a building's ever had a biography. That's kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
Might be the first book of its kind.
Yeah, and
I've
you know
given
what
you
that
an
means?
idea.
You can make it a coffee
A
table book.
good coffee table.
I
Or
like
a coffee
that.
table book about coffee table books.
Yeah,
Think
it needs
about
to have little legs, though, so that it can become a coffee
Right.
table.
And each one of those legs could be a waffle cone. Do you think they will
Oh,
move that?
the waffle cone was
that
fantastic.
This
It's a
guy's
new
crazy.
little wrinkle.
What's that? He goes on Regis.
Oh, when Regis,
it's so great.
Regis looked at him like, I will kill you.
This guy is bonkers.
Oh, all right. Now, stadium. Are they bonkers? I love the renderings. We always have.
Sure, yeah.
What say you about?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, they've done a really good job of answering every potential question / obstacle, because obviously the stadium's gorgeous, and to have a renovation look this good, I think is sensational. And then every component involved in it and beyond it is covered. I tell you, I think the key piece to the whole thing is the UF satellite campus, because that's going to bring 10,000 graduate students to this area, which is what they've needed the whole time. The infrastructure demands that there be, in the past it's been, restaurants and we need some residential. That's just not enough.
Well, the restaurants aren't there if no one else is there.
But you need people. You need a campus is perfect.
Yeah.
Particularly University of Florida, it's graduate students, so these are aspiring, serious young people. These aren't, 18-year-olds that are showing up at college for the first time. I mean, these are professional
and
people.
then apartments
They're
follow,
graduate
condos
students.
follow.
They're
Yeah,
there,
of
and
course,
it also attracts a better faculty.
Yeah.
I think that's a big key to the whole thing. But yeah, I think that obviously it's a gorgeous stadium. We'll certainly go through our thoughts on the Frangie Show about what we think of it. I appreciated the chance to to be one of the few that local reporters were able to have some time with Mark Lamping and company today to kind of go through it. And it's fantastic. I think you're headed towards about a $2 billion project. The stadium being about 1.3 to 1.4 billion of that. I think you're headed to a 50-50 in terms of the ownership versus city. As you look at it in terms of the totality of the project.
Right, because there are other things that they're investing
Correct.
investing in.
Yeah, and I think it's a plan that the league is going to be excited about, which is a good thing because that's not an easy hurdle to clear. I think it's really exciting, and I think it'll be a 2-year deal. My guess is they'll play in Gainesville for 2 years because it just saves everybody so much money.
So will you say 2 years, 3 seasons from now?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, so that's 26.
It might take that long to get it passed.
Well, I think I don't think it'll take that long to get it passed, but I think that's a comfortable timeline.
Yeah, like you get it
I
passed.
I think they could get it passed.
And then you start doing all that environmental stuff. It takes a year for all that to happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they don't have to, but I think that's I think that's if it's a priority for the new administration, which I have to believe it would be.
Right.
Then
exactly.
yeah, but I think the UF satellite campus and having 10,000 graduate students that are coming in and out of there and faculty, that makes it vibrant.
And you nailed it, bro. Feet on the ground, a walking city. Those restaurants will not open up if they only have 50 dates a year, less than 50 dates a year. They need those people.
The problem all along down.
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll get into all that coming up on the Fringy Show, and we'll also talk PGA Tour as well, with that still being a hot topic in day 2.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Hayes, Frange, Lauren, Agent Gibbs, they all got to come.
It's always been the problem downtown.
Yeah.
You look at Charlotte. Charlotte has downtown living.
Yeah, you better believe it. That epicenter, there are businesses there because there are people there.
Yeah.
And it's always been that. All right, When Doves Cry on the
another classic.
The birthday of Prince, may he rest in peace.
We could all shed a tear right now for Prince. Yeah. Collectively, in this room and in the city.
Yeah, exactly. We are out.
Dig, if you will, the picture.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010 XL.